getting dicey.
So smooth. Like that was pretty
crisp.
good. Like,
That was top 10 smooth ones.
yeah. So the rain is coming down. We sort of put that in last time. We'll just get the sound rolling in now. So yeah, so what I'm going to show you exactly. If you guys might want to zoom out for this, but from both sides, you're seeing these I don't know, these creatures made of like vines and sharp sort of points, sort of making their way up through. They're coming from both the left and the right, and there seems to be a lot of them. So if you zoom out on the map, let's take that all in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, oh good. Good. We've got like a doppelganger of Shannon here as well. Ooh. Can I kick that? John, do you want to kick out the double if you can?
Wait, which one's the real one and which one's the Lizard King?
We need him for the extra power in the battle. Damn it,
Okay.
John.
So yeah, you're hearing this cracking of limbs as you look around and just see what looks to be maybe 36 of these creatures slowly making their way towards you from within the vineyard.
Oh, okay.
good
Who's rolling
good
things?
roll for cheese there, Shannon. That was great.
Sorry, I'm just testing
We're
something.
safe.
And that was what you
I got a
needed.
16 for cheese.
Okay, well, I'll say maybe Bill, you're the one that sort of notices this first. You're hearing the sounds, you turn around, you just see these creatures slowly making their ways towards you. What's it on Bill's mind?
I think Bill just calls back to the party. There's a lot of them. Like, a lot. You guys seeing this?
A lot of what, Bill?
And I think you've turned around,
a lot of these.
and you two just see these creatures making their way up through the... And you've never seen anything like this, like almost humanoid, but clearly just made of like needles and vines, like sharp needly
Are they
vines.
different from the ones that we saw when we saw twig blights?
Yeah,
Are these
yeah.
different?
These are different. So have I got a better description of these boys for you? So yeah, from the distance they're at, they kind of just look like greenish humanoid hunched over shapes, and they're just sort of like trudging forward one step at a time, and pushing their way just without trying to make way through the vines, just pushing their way through the vineyard.
So they're not rushing us or anything like that. They're just kind of marching their way slowly.
Yeah, just marching towards you all.
Like slow zombies rather than...
Yeah.
So we've been...
They're scarier. Slow one.
Slow ones aren't scarier. What are you talking about?
It's the fast ones you've got to worry about.
Fast ones are the scariest.
Yeah.
Nah.
But you got me. We've been warned about these by the fellow back there. I'm sure he said there were blights of some kind. I'm sure these are the work of these troublemaking druids. Do I know anything about these blights? Would I know? Have I encountered such a thing or know of them? Their creation? Or?
Give me a nature roll.
Nature. I've rolled a 16 plus 0.
Oh, you've only got a 0 for. I thought you might have had
Yeah,
some bonuses.
it's based
on
on
that.
intelligence.
Right, not too smart, are we, American?
I'm just about average.
Okay, good. Let's give you some extra information on these guys. That was a pretty decent roll. I think... needle blights. Okay, so the one thing that you know about these things, other than how dangerous they are in packs, is that they're what they often do is they release a pollen if they are feeling like under attack. You're not 100% sure. You've never really seen what that pollen does, but you've heard that they release it.
Oh. Hey, watch out! I heard they release pollen. I don't know what it does though.
Oh no, my
Like
allergies.
hay fever.
Anyone got some antihistamine?
Okay, I think with that, they're slowly just making their way closer. We're going to move them forward a chunk as they just push their way through the vineyard. Is there any...
Holy shit.
Morley?
I'd like to look around for any sort of improvised shield I could make with all these kind of wooden barrels lying around. I wonder if there's like a shield of some sort I could make.
So
Yeah.
there's no barrels outside, but let's have just a quick look here. Off to the sort of the eastern side of this building, there is a couple of entranceways, and you can see sort of I'll just ping that on the map. In this sort of area here on the eastern side is where there's a wagon with a few barrels tucked onto it, like it's ready to be delivered. You could absolutely, if you had time, maybe break open one of these barrels and use the wood in some way if that's what you wanted, but it might take a wee while.
I'm looking for like a wagon wheel or like a broken bit of barrel that's like enough like a Roman shield to kind of hold up. But...
Give me an investigation roll.
All right. 16.
Roll of a 16. I'd say maybe you run off towards the west hand side of the building just to take a quick look around the side, and there's a little well just off to the west, and leaning up against that is like the lid of a barrel.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'll pick it up.
What are the rest of you doing while Morley are investigating? Loris.
Yeah, I'm basically just getting my axe ready because I'm kind of about to sort of say to the group that, like, you know, these things seem to be causing the problems, so we should just dispatch of them. And I'm borderline ready to charge, but I'm assessing the fact they're like too far away just now. So as soon as they get within 40 feet of me, I'm gonna let rip at them.
Okay. Are you going to attack them as well? Okay. Okay, cool. Shannon, what's the Baron up to?
It looks like they are going to kill us, right?
They're gonna try.
They don't look friendly. Or are they set off by some sort of movement, or like just we showed up here?
You're not really certain what triggered them. You didn't even know they were there as you made your way down this path, other than obviously the warnings that Davian had given you. And so to hear them sort of snapping their way through this vineyard was quite a surprise.
Everybody put up your hand if you think it's okay to destroy some of their vineyard.
How much is some?
Approximately 20-foot radius.
That's quite a lot of vineyard.
40 feet across.
Yeah, we're talking a lot of.
Are we giving it thumbs up or thumbs down, guys? Thumbs up from Bill.
There's one thumbs up from Bill.
I'm just like, gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Okay, that was 3 thumbs up and 1 down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
American, how about yourself?
I have discerned that I believe they have malicious intent, so I'm preparing for battle, and I'm seeing Loris drawing this axe, and I'm like, I think you've got the right idea. Absolutely, you've got the right idea, and I can help you. I've got an idea. I reckon it'll be great. Do you know what plants hate? Fire. Do you know what spell I prepared today? Oh, it's only a fire-based spell. Okay, here we go. So, just be prepared. I reckon you just go in there, smash them up. I'll help you out. Don't be alarmed. but I can spice up. I can spice up your axe. I can spice it up.
Spice is good.
Yeah, I think by this point, you just hear one of the twig blights just let out this sort of unearthly. I'd like to call it a scream, but it's not. It doesn't sound like anything more than the harsh rubbing of vines and sticks together, but incredibly loud, coming out of the mouth of this thing. And half of them, from almost like each side, just start sprinting towards you all. And with that, we're going to roll for initiative. Don't forget to click your tokens.
So have
I
you
don't think I
revised
can.
your theory on whether running zombies are scarier yet? Because they definitely are.
Yeah. Half zombies are
I'm not
really
saying
scary.
they're not scary, but I just find slow ones more creepy.
But you can
I've
always get away
scary.
from slow ones.
Running ones are probably more dangerous,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean scary.
I rolled a 16.
Gotcha, yeah. Fair enough. I rolled a 21.
Nice.
I rolled a 5.
Did I?
What did you roll there, Shannon? I'll add you in.
Having issues rolling.
Just roll have you got your d20 there plus your dex?
I'm just gonna go get my dice.
Okay. Loris,
You roll? Can someone roll for me?
Loris, what did you get?
I rolled a
I rolled
16.
a 20 for you.
16 for
You rolled a
Loris.
12.
And what's your dex?
But what do you
12 plus
add?
2, I think.
14 then total? Cool.
14.
Okay. At the top of the order is Mirakin. That scream from this blight just sends a chill down your spine. What are you going to do?
I am looking behind me at the building and I want to see how I think if I can climb up it easily enough.
Like climb up
Onto-
the side of the building?
If there's like a solid roof, I'd like to see if I could climb up onto the roof.
So this is a 2-story winery behind you.
Rude.
Yeah, you could totally climb it, but that's going to be basically how tall is that going to be? It's probably like 24 foot tall.
Okay, so what does that mean? Are you saying in terms of using my movement speed, it'd use it all up, or how does that work?
Yeah, so what would have to, and it would use your action as well. So we need to get an athletics, or maybe a strength roll from you to see how well you can climb up.
I'm not interested in using my whole action on climbing the building. Instead, I'd like to reach into our pouch and prepare taking out a pinch of dust. I'm preparing a spell to use on Loris's axe.
You're preparing a spell. So
I will.
what are you specifically waiting for in regards to when you will cast that spell?
I'm going to cast it as I see him strike.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
So that's my action. Is there anything I can climb onto here that's going to be useful to me that won't use a whole action? Because I'm trying to get out of there.
There's a couple of trees like towards the pathway that you came down originally, but that will close your distance between yourself and the needle. These blights.
Okay. All right.
There's also like a meter and a half high fence next to the vineyard.
just balance on the
You
fence.
just wanted to balance on that.
That'll
for a
look
bit.
great.
Yeah.
I think that'll help.
You know, whatever helps.
I'm gonna call out, runs in, we need you. And I'm gonna put out my arms and he's gonna flump out of the plane of existence that he was in into my arms. I'm gonna give him a little kiss and I'm gonna say, get ready, baby. You're gonna web these bad boys.
He's not that big. All right, there we go. Let's. All right.
Yeah, so someone runs in and I want him to prepare an action as well.
He's preparing. What's he preparing?
He's preparing a web.
Okay. And what's going to trigger him webbing things?
As soon as one gets within range, he's going to try and web it.
What's his range?
Well, I'm just going to say normal Oh, actually, it's range 30 to 30, 60 feet.
So that means
Why is it both?
30 he just rolls normally, 60 he rolls with disadvantage.
Okay, so when one gets within 30 feet, he's gonna web.
Okay, cool.
I'm just not gonna move, so that's my turn.
Okay, cool. It is the it's the Blight's turn, so all of them, every single one of them. And upon hearing the noise coming out of the one at the back, they all start emitting that same noise, and it's just this incredibly loud sound coming from every direction at this point, and it seems to be drowning out the sound of the rain hitting the ground. So I'm just going to move all of these forward. It's drowning out any of the wind sounds that can be heard, and it's drowning out the sound of these vineyards, like the parts of the vineyards that they're just walking through and snapping as they pass through them. There is... Let's have a quick look there. What sort of distance do we have on them? Okay, cool. Okay, I think... I'm just going to check some distances here. I think you're all more than 30 feet away at this point. That's okay. I think that is going to be the Blight's turn. Loris, over to you.
So seeing that they're still quite a way away, I'm just going to get everyone just like, hold your position, guys. Wait till they get within striking distance. But with so I've got my axe in my left hand, and with my free hand, I'm just going to grab one of my little hand axes, and I'm going to biff it at this guy here. Hold on, I'll ping him. I want to biff it at this guy here. It's
kind of the closest one to you at this point.
Yeah, basically the closest guy. He's still 40 feet away, but I just want to give him a bit of a warning shot. Let him know that I'm here.
Yeah, cool.
Kind of hope that he gets an idea to charge at me.
Yeah. What's your range on throwing?
I haven't thrown. I'm guessing. I've not thrown a hand axe before, so I'm not actually sure what the range is on those things. Hang on a second.
Let's take a quick look.
I think it's like 30.
Is it 30? Oh, it says 20 feet and 60 feet. So you 20 feet is normal range.
You can throw at disadvantage.
That's fine. It's really just to get his attention.
Yeah.
To be fair. So I'll put it on disadvantage, and I will give it a whack to see what happens. So I rolled an 8.
Wait. Not just an.
No, I rolled an 8.
Not just an 8. You rolled a 1. With a bonus of 7.
It's an 8.
Give me a D100.
And this is why Loris does not throw shit very often. Fucking hell.
Let's see.
100.
Don't we want 0? We want 0, right? We want like
100's good.
100 is good. Here comes a D. It's a 73.
Okay. That's all right. That's not too bad. Oh, okay. You sort of eye up this blight out in the field. You grab one of your hand axes and just flick it, and it is like slow motion through the air, heading straight towards the Baron.
What?
and strangely, it just stops. It just stops mid-air, and then you notice everything has stopped. The wind stopped. The rain has stopped. Everything
Oh my God.
has stopped. And out.
And we can't move.
You can't move. It's just
Oh,
it's just your eyes that can really move at this point.
Scream.
And over by sort of in between the Baron and yourself, Loris, there's just a shimmering, and out from the shimmering steps a familiar face. And he steps out of this thing, and there's just like the blade of this hand axe just hovering directly in front of his face. He's like, "Oh, okay, this is probably," and he looks around behind him. He looks at the Baron. He's like, "Oh, this isn't good for this guy, is it? Oh, well, let's just try something for a bit." And he grabs it and he just twists it in the air, so it's kind of not the sharp point is facing the Baron. It's like the flat point is facing the Baron now. And he goes, But that's not why I'm here now, is it? Let's take a look and... Ooh! He sees all of these blights behind you. It's the combat wheel! This is very exciting. Let's see what we've got here for you this time. And he spins this wheel. And I've got it so you can't see it this time. And we are spinning the combat wheel.
Spin that wheel.
I'm getting a question.
Hmm?
Can we talk, or
You
is
can't
it only our
talk.
eyes?
Literally everything. Like, time is frozen. The only thing that you're able to do is take in what is happening in front of you. Morley.
Do we still have magical weapons from his last visit?
You do. They are still... It's still within the time, so you do still have magical weapons. Which means it's a +1 to hit and a +1 to any damage. Yeah? And Needle spins the wheel, and it slows down, and it just stops on this tile, and he looks at it and he says, This one's pretty interesting. He says, that'll be a no from me. Make of that what you will. The powers that be are going to probably fuck something up for you here. Goodbye! And he just disappears into this sparkly ether, and the hand axe just kicks back in, and just the blunt part, the side of this hand axe, just slams into the back of your head.
Sorry,
Baron.
Baron.
Just doing
I should have realised you were in my way.
doing 2 bludgeoning damage.
Sorry,
Dude,
Baron.
that's all my hit points.
Yeah. So what he said is what landed on the wheel was a that'll be a no from me. So it's kind of like
Simon Cowell.
that's
Random.
yeah. Okay. And anything else from you, Loris?
Yeah, no, besides apologising to Baron, just like, sorry, bud. And maybe I'll move a little bit out of, yeah, so he's not in my line of sight anymore. I didn't even think about it.
My bad.
My bad, sorry. So yeah, I just want to move a little bit more forward so everyone's out of my way.
Okay, good.
I should have done that first, but you know.
Baron, it's your
Live and learn.
it's your turn now.
Ah. That hit me in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of makes up for the ice knife and stuff in the back, you know, episodes ago.
Kind of makes up for that ice knife 3 years ago, I think, that we never stopped hearing about. Okay. So it's raining, right?
It is.
Okay. All right. I'm going to cast a big spell
Yes.
called Fireball,
Oh.
and that must be my most damaging spell. So that does a 20-foot radius sphere
20
of
foot
fire.
radius.
Yeah, so
Okay.
40 feet across. So I can't actually move my guy or anything. So but I think
Okay. Did you want us to
ping.
move him somewhere?
Yeah, who do you? It looks like it'll get the most over on the top left. If I can make it by 150 feet away. It goes a long way.
Yeah. So they're about 50. The center here is about 50 feet away, just from this group here. If that's where
Yep.
you were hoping to land it.
Yeah, that looks good.
And it's basically 4 of these grids tall and 4 wide.
Yep. So you just do it wherever you think it'll get the most. It looks like around about there. And they all have to do a dexterity saving throw of 15 to avoid it. Otherwise, they take half damage, I think.
Let's have a quick look here. So maybe that does that look right for you? That's going to capture like 11 of them.
Yep.
And what did they
Yep, was pretty
what
good.
did they have to roll? Oh, do you have to roll
Dex
anything
save of-
to cast it or
No.
no? It's just dex save. Okay, cool.
Rolling.
Okay, cool. We're gonna have to roll for like 11 of them. So here we go. The first one rolled a 10. We're gonna go from bottom upwards just to make it easier. Yeah, just so we can tick them all.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. So it's a 10. What do they have to beat?
Should I write this down or you got this?
Okay. So, yeah, maybe write that down if you can. What do they have to beat?
15.
15. All right. So we've got
15 dex.
1 miss, 1 success. Another success with a 20. a miss with a 10, a miss with a 14, a meets beats,
Oh, the old classic meat.
is
which
that?
means he succeeded.
You got a 15, so he beats it,
Yeah,
is that right?
that's right.
All right.
Sweet.
Wait, yeah.
We got a miss with a 13. How many have I done? We've got a miss with a 12. How many have I done? Damn, I should be counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I think
7,
Shannon
8.
has a tally.
We've
So.
got 8 so far. 3 more. We have a success with a 20. We have a miss with an 11. And we have another miss with an 11. And what sort of damage does this do to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that failed?
Oh, okay. So
How many?
7
D8?
that failed. I'm gonna take. I got to roll.
Okay.
Luckily, I can. Yeah, I can roll right here on. Let's see. They take 8d6 damage.
Oh shit! Okay, okay.
So
How much
many
is that?
D6.
Did it
Yeah,
roll?
that's a total of
24.
24. And what happens to for the ones that succeeded? Do they take half damage? Is it or?
Yeah, they take half.
Okay. Well, that fireball just lands square in the middle of this whole thing, and the ones near the center just erupt in flame. As does a big chunk of the vineyard in that area. And on the outskirts of that fireball, those two are just just burn up and drop to the ground. You have just wiped out 11. No, more than how many was that? Yeah, 11.
11 of them.
Yeah, just
So 12 was
work.
enough to kill them.
12 was enough to kill them.
Okay, well that's good.
Save some for me, man. Come on. It's not fair.
In
You got to aim at them. Boris.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Anything else from the Baron?
No, I'm going to back away a bit. No, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can't actually move my guy.
Whereabouts did you want to back off to?
Just in the middle of everyone. I think I want to get some.
All right, you just
Maybe behind Morley's sweet shield.
so you kind of just dart off behind Morley off to the side there. All right, Bill, over to you.
Ugh. This is a lot. There's a lot of them.
There are.
Not that many anymore.
Not anymore. We just killed 11.
There are significantly less than there were a moment ago.
Feeling okay, Bill? You doing all right? A little cold sweat
I-
as these things make their way
Frozen.
towards you.
Frozen
Yeah,
and panicked.
there's still like 30 of them.
Oh, that's
Or
good.
not quite 30.
That's good.
I'm not seeing 30. Am I not
look-
seeing? Oh my god! I
look
just
to the
scrolled
right.
across.
Yeah, look to the right.
Scrolled across.
Over there.
I was very chilled out until I scrolled across. Okay.
Yeah.
There's,
We
yeah,
were-
there's, you're seeing double what you were seeing before.
More than like 3
We were
times.
in-
as
yeah.
many.
We're instructed to zoom out for that reason.
I couldn't zoom out.
That was a good fireball. That was good.
It was a good fireball. I'm just going to call out to the group and just say, everyone inside the winery now. And I'm going to move towards the winery.
So there's a let's just make sure I give you a good indication of all of the doorways in that area, just so that you can see anyway. Just in case you wanted to go somewhere else. There is sort of right behind you a couple of steps up into this what looks like a small. Well, let's actually probably easier if I just describe it to you.
Oh, that's open? Just here is open?
Yeah, it's, you're seeing the roof from that view there, but it's just like a little veranda. They're resting on a flagstone veranda. There's these 3 5-foot diameter wooden tubs. Their insides just stained with grape juice. Each tub has a short ladder bolted to its side and a little catch basin tucked underneath it. At the back of the veranda is a large set of sliding wooden doors, as well as a little normal-sized wooden door just off to the side of it. There are stone pillars and arches supporting the upper floor above. So there is a door right there, and then there is the one that you were heading towards, it's some steps up towards another door just off to the east.
Sorry, I thought this area was
No,
closed.
that's
in.
okay.
Did you say that there's a door down here?
Yeah, at the back of this
Where I'm
veranda, there is one about there.
Okay. Shit. I think I'm still going to head over here.
Okay.
I'm just going to check my distance to this group.
Yeah, you run up to that door, and it you sort of place a hand on it, and it looks like it doesn't feel locked. You give the door a little twist, and it doesn't look like it's a locked door at all.
Okay.
Make of that what you will.
Sorry. I feel like this is gonna maybe. This might be a big deal. Maybe it won't be. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna sing out to this guy over here.
All right, so the closest from the bunch coming out of the east.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna. Where's my song? Fucking twig blights in the winery. Fucking twig blights in the winery. Well, now, aren't you lots so vile? You said to me, you'll get my style. Mess with me, you'll run a mile. Maybe it's because I'm so versatile. Gal, profile. I said, your mama gonna scream, oh, child. And I'm gonna cast. Forgot what I was casting. Enemies abound.
Enemies abound. Oh, we had
Abound.
this with the hags here. So detail this one to us.
So when I cast Enemies Abound, I reach inside the mind of that creature, and it must make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
If it's immune to being frightened, it automatically succeeds. On a failed save, it loses the ability to distinguish friend from foe regarding all creatures it can see as an enemy. So basically, it's like disruptive.
Okay, cool. And what does it have to roll?
It needs to beat a 15.
It has rolled an 8, so it has not succeeded. So that sees it's frightened, and it can't just okay. And how long does that take? That's 1 minute of it basically thinking that it can't tell friend from foe.
Yeah, I think it gets a chance to save each time it takes damage.
Okay, cool. Okay, good to know. Anything else from Bill? So you're up against this doorway now.
So I think I still have probably not a lot of move, but if I can crack open that door and take half a step and slide, motioning to the others.
Yeah. You open that door and you see sort of inside there's it looks to be like where they make the barrels. There's like strips of iron and wood lying in little neat piles on the floor of this little workshop, and the walls of which are just lined with a bunch of tools. 2 work tables stand against the eastern side wall. And that's kind of what you're seeing in front of you. All right, let's move over to Morley.
Right. Well, first things first, I'm going to say to the Baron who's next to me, that was fucking amazing, man. About that amazing fireball. And then I'm going to try and... I'm also going to say to the Baron, let's take cover. And I'm going to start moving away. So I'm going to use half my movement to... I'm going to use half my movement to kind of get around here where the kind of Bill was.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm going to provide some cover, and I'm going to fire off a crossbow bolt, which is still magical, at this nearest blight in front of me.
Yeah, sure. Give me a roll to hit, and we'll just add 1 on top.
All right.
Ooh, that is a 3 plus 5, total of 8. And we'll add 1 on, 9. You
That important one.
still miss. No, that just it cuts beautifully through some of the vineyard though. So while there's a bunch of this vineyard burning off to your left, being dampened by the rain at the moment, you manage just to knock off a couple of these grapes off the vineyard. Beautiful shots through a couple of these grapes.
Oh, you cut a grape in half.
yeah.
Very
Lovely.
Yeah.
Pristine.
Cool.
perfectly splits.
Well, that's encouraging.
I was aiming for that.
The warning shot. I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna use the other half of my movement to kind of like go and kind of be near Bill by that door, but not go inside.
Now, you could probably only... what's your movement? 30 feet? 40 feet?
30.
So you could probably only just make it to where Bill was. These are 10-foot squares, what you're seeing.
All right. I use all of my movement. I fire off that shitty bolt. I say that was a warning shot, and then I look sheepish.
Okay. Mirakin, we're back with you.
That was an amazing shot, Morley. You really showed that grape ooze, boss. Maybe next time on to the blind.
Spiteful.
Brian, that was incredible. Do that again. I'm frankly not concerned. They're just a bunch of twigs. We've got this. And I'm just going to slam my staff down and be like, and they're not going to be moving much if I have to say anything about it. And I'm going to cast a plant growth.
Plant growth?
In this big patch of blight. It has an 100-foot radius? That seems like a lot.
Plant growth
Anyway.
has a 100-foot radius?
I'm very good at plant growth.
I mean, clearly.
All normal plants in a 100-foot radius centered on the point
That's a
become thick
lot
and
of...
overgrown. Every creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves.
That all includes us as well.
Wow.
I'm not going to cast it on us, though, am I?
Yeah, but it's 100 foot. That's like the entire vineyard.
I have a range of 150 feet, right? So
Right.
how... Like, do the thing. If I can cast it far enough away...
Sorry, what's it called?
It captures them. Plant growth.
Are you going to make them bigger?
I'm not going to grow them, Brian. I'm going to grow the vineyards into just all the grass and all the weeds to grasp around them.
Okay. I like this. I do like this. So, is there... It just happens, right?
Everyone's all like, is this going to destroy us?
So this just
Help.
Does it slow them
this
down?
just happens, right? And it slows it basically quarters their speed by the sounds of things.
Yes.
Okay. And you don't have to roll anything. You just cast this out.
I just do
Cool.
it.
So you describe how you do it, and I'll describe what happens.
I'm going to slam my staff down into the ground and focus on growing the vitality of all the grasping weeds around these blights.
Cool. As you do that, the vineyard just massively grows up. Like the vines start wrapping and entwining against everything, and this vineyard just grows triple, quadruple times its size. And in only a beat, all of these these blights are just gone from view, hidden somewhere within this vineyard.
Oh, good.
So
Alright, game over.
If I can't see them, they're not a problem.
Yeah.
Sweet.
so
How about that wine?
I'm just going to there we go, just gonna make
Walk home now.
those all invisible to you, I guess. So as of right now,
I feel like that's a DM. It doesn't say
Yeah.
anything about them being like hidden from
that's the-
you. I feel like you're just,
you can't look. You don't have invisible. You don't have X-ray vision through this massive growth that
you're
you just.
using my 3rd level spell. I won't stand for it. It doesn't say anything about it.
Oh, what?
Gimping
Oh,
our
so now
effects
you
on-
just kind of wanted it to grow.
It says they become thick and overgrown, and a creature moving through the area spends 4 feet of
Yeah,
movement for
they're
every
definitely
Yeah.
slow.
Something that's overgrown, you can't see through it.
Yeah,
Like
but
an
if it's only
overgrown
got
forest.
to your
They
knees,
they weren't.
anything about it going above
not
you.
that
How,
tall.
how tall did you think they were compared to the height of the vines that were already in place?
I was focusing on the weeds. I'm obviously not going to use my spell to gimp our combat.
But it just does like 100-foot radius, right? And all plants within that.
If you want to gimp my cool spell, it is your prerogative as the DM. But that was not my intent.
Okay, I mean, if you wanted, Describe what you wanted to happen then.
I wanted all the weeds and grasses around them to grow thick and overgrown and impede their movement without covering them up
Can
completely.
you put the spell in the chat just so I can have a look at it? Just because I want to know if if it's as simple as you can choose if you wanted to. Like,
It's like my cool level 3 spell.
It just says
so I hooked.
channels vitality into plants within a specific thing.
It just
Here we
says
go.
a thick and
Here we go.
overgrown.
All normal plants in a 100-foot radius centered on that point become thick and overgrown. So that means non-magical, basically.
So that includes the vines.
It doesn't mean they get like super tall.
No, but it just...
I feel okay.
it just
Look, if you want to do that, you can.
Yeah, they become thick and overgrown. They don't. Like, I wouldn't imagine they become like small trees become tall trees.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to do here. You're making an area full of like a vineyard overgrown while something is trying to make its way through it. Like they were already relatively hard to spot because you didn't spot them on your way up, and now you've encased this thing in vines. And I'm just gonna say DM's rule. Sorry, they are now blind to you're blind to them. They're blind to you. They can't see you. You can't see them. They are somewhere within this vineyard right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything else from American on this one?
I'm just gonna be like, didn't expect it to do that. Yeah. I thought that was gonna be cool.
It slows them down, which is still kind of cool.
Well, if I guess they come out.
Yeah, if they just stay in there and okay.
I see. There's another version you can cast it over 8 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, see, I was gonna use it once you wasted all of the
Oh, fuck, that'd be
things.
good.
I'll just regrow them back. It's fine. I'll just like fix them after the fact.
I don't feel so worried.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get told off.
I don't know how you don't think that's cool. I thought that was super awesome, but okay.
That was
Yeah,
dope.
exactly. I don't know.
It's a cool.
It's not what I
It is?
intended.
I think it's awesome.
I think it's gone horribly wrong for my intention.
It's a slightly
Laura's
cool
And bad.
Loris picks up some dirt, rubs it on under his eyes, and runs into the bush.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, you know. Right?
Oh god, I shouldn't have suggested it.
I've already
Thank
targeted the one that I'm chasing, but you know.
Is there anything else from American or runs in at this point?
I guess I'll head towards Bill.
Round Zen could like run in and like scare them out like a truffle pig. No, not like a hunting dog.
Scare the shit out of those truffles. My truffle!
Wrap them up, boy. Get him behind.
Okay, cool. It is the Blight's turn, and you're all just hearing this sort of like shifting within the vineyard at this point. American knowing full well that there's really not much of a chance of them poking their heads out anytime soon. I am just going to check one thing in regards to distance. Okay, no, it's cool. Nothing happens on the Blight's turn other than you seeing from within the vineyard things moving. Loris, over to you.
Loris feels like this rabid dog ready to charge. It's like, crap, where have they gone? So I'm just looking back at American, looking around. Bill's running away.
I'm like shrugging, like I'm so sorry. I thought it would just be helpful, but it's shit
But
again.
I've had my axe out for 2 rounds, and I'm like,
Sounds like American
can't
needs to
see
change your hair
anything.
color, I think.
So, yeah, not having a target to chase at and not really knowing where they've gone. Obviously, they're moving because they've been rummaging around. I don't know where they are. I'm sort of just going to hold where I am, waiting till I see someone. And as soon as one of them comes out, so I'm going to basically ready in action. So I think, if I'm right, where they were last, about there. Oops. Yeah, about there is about 40 feet away.
Yeah.
So as soon as I see one pop out of there, I'm going to charge with almighty bloodlust and just rip into him with my axe. So I'm just going to basically wait where I'm at the. In fact, what I'll do is I'll move slightly closer to the edge of the vineyard, just to there, And when one pops his head out of there, I'm going to leap over this fence and I'm just going to charge at him.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Baron, over to you.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to follow Morley where he went. And I feel quite encouraged by people saying that the explosion was big and cool. Because I think I did it one other time, but it was from a scroll. So it was the first time I've actually done it as a proper spell. We did it against the zombies. The zombie herder.
That's right, that's right.
So this is like, it's raining, there's mist, all the plants just grew. I'm just going to say, American, that was the most druidy thing I've ever seen you done. Do. You ever did do. You did done do. Yeah, because that's like 150 feet of druidy growing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that's going to come in handy. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do fireball. Fireball. And I'm going to point over here. Oh, I don't know if I can ping the ground. So over to the east.
Oh, yeah.
I can ping it. Yeah, it's quite slow. So where I saw there was a bunch.
Yeah, so what's the range on that?
Well,
It's like 50-foot
40
range.
feet across. Same as that orange square.
No, sorry, what was the range of how far you can launch one of these suckers?
150.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Jesus.
Cool, what we'll do... let's place another one of these boxes down.
Baron, you're going to burn them all before I get a chance to hit one.
So jealous.
Yeah, I want to do a sweet combo move with Loris, but I've just ruined that as well.
So did you want to...
Can't
Where did you want to have this thing? We could have it, what's that, 4x4. So let's just draw that. And
Don't burn the house
it's
down.
like that kind of area? Is that where you were sort of aiming? Oh, he's gone. Okay. Well, I assume...
I think that's where he's pointing.
Yeah, yeah. 1, 2,
He's
3,
back.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, I think, like, don't, I'd say move it to the right a bit because there's nothing in this bottom left corner
Like
that I can see, right?
there?
Yeah, and then, yeah.
You decide if you want
Or
to...
up a little.
How much? Whereabouts? Up a little bit?
Up a little
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
A little bit north there. Is
Yeah.
that good?
And maybe, yeah. Down a little bit. Okay.
There we go.
Just a smidge
Yeah.
more.
Looks
Is that good?
pretty good.
Okay, I'm gonna need to do some.
I think
I need
so.
to do some dex rolls on this one. So, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do.
Could we just, because it killed them even at half
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
last time.
Just
so
do the
should I
roll, yeah, just do the
and
roll.
See? Oh, okay, here we go.
86. That's insane.
8d6.
Fuck.
What are it? Oh,
35.
35.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so they're just.
A 4, 6, 2, 5, 6, 6, 4, 2.
Wow.
All right, so
That's a good
you
roll.
see the fireball just like shoots up over and into the vineyard, and there is just like a burst of flame in exactly where you were hoping to land it, and again you just hear that same scream out from these blights. You don't really have any indication of how many were killed, but you know based.
Is it just like, I imagine it goes up like a fireworks or something. And land.
That's exactly what happens. So like a little mushroom cloud like rises up from where it landed, and there's just like a perfect circular like burn just in that area.
Right, like a crater.
Yeah.
I'm glad you can regrow this, American.
What were anything else from the Baron?
No, I just try. I can't move my
Oh, yeah.
token, so I'll just follow Morley.
Okay, cool. Let's just move you
These
over by
plants.
Morley. Cool. Bill, over to you at the door of the winery.
I had a quick question. The twig blight from before that I made angry.
Oh yeah, that's
I don't.
I was
so
trying to get
he-
him out of the.
let's just see what he managed to do.
So he chooses a target at random. So you decide how that happens. I
Yeah,
guess.
cool. Yep, I have done some stuff with him. Again, you can't really see what he's done,
Yeah.
but there has been some extra sort of calls out with this shriek from that where you last saw him.
I'm just like, now I know how Loris feels after I make one guy angry, and then there's like 2 huge scorching craters, and like the earth itself has grown up around it, and my same level spells like just a dude's a bit upset. I've got spell envy. Well, I would say come inside, but maybe we'll be fine. I kind of feel like you guys have got this, so
Well, Baron's got it at least.
maybe I'll just keep the door open and keep a watch on the side, and I'll prepare a vicious mockery.
Okay, cool. Who are you sort of preparing that at? Is there any just the first side
I'm
of one?
preparing it over here, like the first enemy that comes through these bushes.
Yeah, cool. Okay, sounds good. Back to you, Morley.
Well, once again, I'm going to have to turn to the Baron and say, "You're a fucking badass, man!" Just absolutely amazed by how, this you're just ransacking this area. And all I can really do now, because I can't target anyone, can I? Because they're all hidden by overgrowth. Yeah, I'm going to back up behind one of these barrels here. Just in here, just between 2 barrels. And I'm going to draw my crossbow and ready in action, similar to Loris. The minute I kind of see any kind of creature start creeping out of these things, I'm just going to let a bolt go.
Can you give me a perception roll?
Oh, yep. Why not? You are the GM, so yep, pretty fucking perceptive.
Yeah, you're keenly focused on the vineyard in front of you. That's all I'm going to say.
A 3 + 1.
3 + 1. Yeah, sorry.
No.
Yes, I am.
Anything else from Captain Morley?
I'm going to say, Baron, open here.
Okay, cool. American, back with you.
Yeah, so my spell didn't do what I wanted it to do. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, well, sorry.
So spicy.
Sorry. Didn't mean to do it that way. I'm just gonna.
Can I get a perception roll from you as well, please?
Okay. I'm ready to perceive. I'm gonna do a great job. Where is it? I'm gonna be really fast at this perception and look at me go. I've rolled a 6. Oh, what?
Wow.
17 + 6 for 23.
Okay, yeah. While looking out at like this obvious mishap out in the vineyard, you hear some kind of weird scratching coming from the sliding door behind you, just at the back of this veranda.
Sausage
Okay.
dog.
Yeah.
Yay.
Can I look at it?
So the veranda's maybe how deep is it? You can definitely go over to it if you want to. It's at the moment you're at the steps of this veranda. What you're seeing on the map, there's just the three wine sort of barrels where people have been stomping on stuff. So it's probably about 20 feet away. At the back of this veranda is this sliding door.
Okay, I'm gonna go up near Morley, near one of those barrels, and I'm gonna lash out with a thorn whip on that veranda door, the sliding door. I'm just gonna be like, "Who's there?"
Okay. I mean, it's yeah, sweet. It's I will say it's a stone sliding door. I don't know.
Oh, what? It's made of stone. I would never predicted that.
It's not like a glass shutter or anything like that. Sorry.
Okay. a
Aluminium
stone
framing.
Yeah.
wood, you know.
Yeah, not this one.
Let's
Sorry.
Does it look like it would even be affected at all?
You might startle something that's behind it. Sure.
Nah, I'm not gonna thorn with it.
Startle.
Startle, do it. You've said you're
Start
gonna.
with the thing
Just do
that's
it.
behind it.
Just do it.
Just a good old startle.
It doesn't sound very productive.
The best things
Actually,
happen when you just go for it.
What sort of? It's just a roll to hit, isn't it? I think it's we could treat the door as if it has HP. That's for sure. If you want to give it a go, but it'll have a decent amount of HP if you're trying to bust through the door.
I'm just gonna yell. I'm hearing scratching from behind this stone sliding door. And then I'm gonna thorn whip some of that overgrowth instead. And I'm gonna try and clear the way for Loris to charge. And I'm like, go get him!
Yeah, cool. Give us a roll. Roll to hit. I mean, you're gonna hit something, so it's more just to see what the damage is.
I've rolled a 17 plus 3 plus 3 for 23.
Cool. And that has like 30-foot length, that thing. So if you run up beside Loris and just carve out a decent chunk of that.
Well, if you will.
Let's just see what I can clear out. And that is 7. So you managed to basically slice out a nice path out in front of Loris. So we're saying 30 feet. It's out to about this point where it ends. And there's like another one of those like shrieks that sort of clamours out from there. And you can see that you've like managed to knock the side of this blight while also revealing it to Loris.
Yes. Does my short bow trigger?
Yeah. Let's do your short bow.
I'm the worst cunt.
What'd you get?
Whoa.
13 is enough to hit. So you send your bolt through and do it for 4 damage. With the added damage that the Thorn Whip did, you just managed to just knock this thing right into the head, and takes it down dead into the vineyard.
Come on!
One for the good guys.
Well, you just run in, Loris. You have to. What do they say? The early bird gets the worm.
There's nothing
Guess it
there.
takes
Every
you
time I
lost.
go,
Oh my
it
god,
hits
the one he can see. Absolutely wiped out. Learn you.
Anything else from American and maybe runs in?
I'm just gonna stick around where I am.
We'll have to just put you up next to, unless you want to head up and head back.
Everyone needs to keep the same thing prepared.
Okay, cool. It is the
Come on, show your faces, you little fuckers.
Hero Morley stepped up that time. All right, I'm just going to move some of these forward. John, you had something prepared for at the site of a blight. Off to the right, one has just managed to poke its head through some of this growth.
I'm gonna just pull out a classic and just say, "Make like a tree and leave," and just viciously mock.
Cool. What do we have to roll for that?
This tree.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
Make like a tree and something that's not relevant. He needs to roll a 15 wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, cool. These guys are not too wise, and he manages to fail. He's just rolled a 12 total.
Okay.
What sort of damage are we looking at?
2d4. Hit him for 6.
And instead of a shriek coming out of this one, it's more like a as it's like
Scooby-Doo.
as it sort of like clutches at its head for a moment. There is another bit of a scuffle happening in between one of the twig blights and one of the others. And so again, you're just seeing some more shrieking coming from where you threw out that enemies abound earlier. But you're not really sure what happens there until you see that one of them falls out of the overgrowth, and is landed on top by a clearly damaged one. So these two are kind of like having a bit of a scuffle. And I have gone and put that on the wrong layer, which makes
Blight pile.
blight pile.
Awesome. Now they're killing themselves before I get a chance. No.
Don't worry, Dave. I'm sure there'll be.
I have one job and it's getting taken away from me.
Yeah.
Not happy. Just not
Dave, you're at the ready, and you're sort of taking a look in down that pathway that American carved out. And I'm just going to roll a couple of things here.
Come on.
Sorry,
show
I'm
me the
rolling
money.
probably a little too much. What's
No, it's good.
what's
fine.
your AC?
My AC 17.
Okay, that's very lucky. Just a barrage of needles just comes flying out of this vineyard in your direction. One of them, some of those do manage to kick into you, like just pelt against your chest, doing 9 piercing damage.
So wait, things I can't see are now hitting
They're just
me.
like
Oh my God, this is
spraying.
making me so angry.
They're just
Be happy. It's revealed its location to you.
yeah, and in fact that is correct. The one that hit you, they've kind of just sprayed out in a bunch of different directions. The one that hit you, you can pinpoint basically to be just behind where American carved out.
Yeah, the needles in your chest will be pointing at the
Blue.
So I will make him available for you guys to see. Just maybe Loris is the only one that really can pick up on that one. Then behind you, actually Morley, because American ran off to help Loris, but behind you, Morley, this sliding door opens up, and you turn around to see this double door that has now been opened, just filled with these smaller little blights. And when I say filled, they are clambering over each other to try and get out to you. There could be dozens.
Yeah, more.
I say.
Oh shit, there's more.
Loris, it is your turn, and you've heard this now. You look behind you, and there's the door frame just full of these little twig blights scrambling to get through this doorway.
So where's the door? Just in here?
Just behind Morley, yeah.
Oh, they're closer. I've got a decision. Oh, I hate decisions. not one to be frozen by a choice. The guy in front of me hurt me, and I'm kind of already busting at the like at the edge of my rage, ready to rip the head off something little. So literally, I'm just going to pull out this little needle thing, look at it, look straight down the barrel at this guy, and screaming, "Call that a blade! This is a blade!" And I'm just going to charge down the path at him, raging as I go.
Yeah, certainly. Because you've had that pathway made out, like cut out for you. There's no difficult terrain.
So I'm there, and if I'm right, so I've got a +1 to attack with the magic weapon at the moment.
Yes,
is
you
that
do.
right?
Now, American, you had something prepared earlier, and
Yes, much earlier.
and because I feel like I've done you a damage in regards to your spell, I'm happy to have that prepared for this time.
Well, I did say it would trigger it when he attacked something.
Normally, you can only prepare something for like a move in
once
advance, but
around.
I'm just gonna allow this. I'm gonna allow this.
Okay.
So
I'm going to be watching Loris intently and going like this. And then I'm going to cast heat metal on his blade as he slices towards them.
oh, heat
Charging it up to fiery hot heat
metal.
at level... Ooh.
Is that how you cast it? You rub your hands together, though.
I love
like-
it. It's so Mr. Miyagi. It's
Puts
fantastic.
his staff down on the ground and.
By starting a fire.
So, I'm causing the object that glows red hot. I'm choosing the metal axe
Right.
in his
So
hand.
you cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage. So you're basically trying to cast this as he swings it into this thing.
Yeah. And I checked before with him that it has a wooden handle, so
Okay.
he doesn't
Nice.
2d8 fire damage on himself.
Yeah, well, let's hope he doesn't roll a crit fail.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Can't. Surely not. Not
Surely
twice
not.
in a
No.
battle.
It's happened before, but yeah.
What are the odds?
That would be it.
1 in
Brand
20.
itself.
So yeah, Loris, you're
All right.
running out and you swing, and that glowing axe that you've got in your hand, because of it being blessed by a needle at some point, just starts glowing suddenly red hot in your hands. And you can feel a lot of that warmth in the handle as you're swinging it through this twig blight. So you can give us a roll to hit.
All right, here comes one, which I'm sure will only need one, but it's one. I roll a 16, doing 12. So it's a 17, doing 13 damage.
And then we've got like another 9 fire damage from Mirakin's spell on that. So you just...
Okay.
What's that, sorry?
Oh, right. It already
It's already rolled it,
rolled the
which is
damage.
fantastic. So you just bring that in. I think the rain hitting the handle in your head and your... and your
Oh.
Whoa!
What did you
That's
do
never
to
happened
him?
What
before.
happened? Oh, right, sorry.
This is awkward.
What's is everyone
Wow.
can hear everyone? I've got like difficulties connecting to server. Can you guys hear me okay? No.
Yeah, did he
Oh, yeah,
pull the
true.
plug out or something?
No. That's weird.
Well, he was.
I'm lost. What's happening? The viewer's not
No,
hearing us
I
now.
think
No,
Reagan's
Reagan's
gone.
disappeared, so...
um
Sorry, everyone. Reagan's
They
So
can
gone.
we don't
hear
know.
me.
We don't know if they can see
no,
us.
everyone. I
guess.
think everyone, but you guys can.
I would
hear me.
assume not.
This is interesting. So these guys can't hear me, and I cannot attempt to reconnect to the server. So we're just going to try that again and see if you guys can hear me now. Am I back?
Oh, yay. You are
Me
back.
and the viewers could hear you guys fine.
Where did you
It's
go?
similar
I
to
was
what
I
happens
was
to
just
me.
here. I was just here
Ethereal
talking
plane.
to myself. Anyway, sorry. So you swing that through. You swing your axe, and the rain is coming down on you. Your hands on the wood, and it's hitting the bits of the metal of the axe and just evaporating instantly the moment it hits this blade. And you cut through this twig blight. The moment it hits, this blight just erupts into flame as well, and it just splinters into ash as you pass this through. But this wooden handle is getting really, really hot. Can you just give me a Constitution roll?
With Constitution save?
Yeah, with advantage.
Oh, okay. Cool. It's even better. So I rolled a 24.
18 plus
with
6,
advantage.
nice. Yeah, so I think you take one hand off quickly, just because it's getting a little hot, and you manage to just reposition it on there, and it just seems to sort of like fuel you a bit more. You're fine. You're fine with this, and as quickly as that heated up, it's dissipated. Not completely. It looks like there's still some sort of a fire effect on it, but it's much more subdued right now.
Cool. So from where I'm standing, can I see any other of these little buggers around?
Yes, because you're in the thick of it. Off to your right, you can see a couple more that I don't know if they've really noticed you yet.
So I think I'm just going to measure because I'm not sure if I'm at the limit. Oh no, so that's probably 30 odd feet away. Because I get 2 attacks.
Mhm.
Would you mind if I take a step across and lash out at these two? Will you allow it?
They're probably they're like 10 feet away.
Or
at
they're
this
too
point.
far? Do math then. So I moved 28 feet.
Well,
I have 40 feet of movement available.
well, we just use squares, so you move like 3 squares, which is 30 feet, right? So if you've got 40
Yeah.
foot of movement, you can move 1 more square, so you can totally get close enough to push through.
Excellent. I like math. Cool. So, so are we still using that? What was that rule? That slicing
Cleaving
rule, where if I do
rules.
more damage to one, the cleaving
we
rule.
are.
We're still using. Good, because I feel like I could do more damage to this.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with this guy, and just swinging across him, and obviously with the intent of slicing him and hopefully hitting the other guy as well with my second attack.
Okay. Yeah, give us a roll to hit.
So I'll take that off, and so adding, rolling. Oh god, it's a crit fail. Fuck no. It's a 9 plus 1,
Give-
which is a 10. but it's still a crit
Give
fail.
me
It's a 1 plus 9.
D100, please. So, for anyone who's watching us for the first time, this is the second time we've done this tonight, but we roll a D100 just to see how bad that crit fail can be. The lower the number, the
don't
worse
wanna.
it is.
It's an 85. Why am I
Pretty
rolling
good.
good on that? Come on.
Okay, an 85. It's still a crit fail. I think you go to swipe out, and there's just too much in the way of overgrown vines and stuff, and you kind of get a little caught up in the vines. You are classified for the duration of this next turn as being in a grappled state, but by the vines.
Oh.
So you need to break out. You have to break free of that before being able to do anything else.
And does that... Okay, I'll ask the question after. Okay. So frustrated. So angry.
Over to Baron. Another fireball, right
Can
about there, is it?
He'll probably crit fail on it and fireball. Okay.
He's just standing right in the middle of
is.
them now. Can we see Loris get...
You can
I
sort of
am
see
7'3",
Loris's
so you
back
should be able to see
at this
me.
point. You're looking down the path that Murikan's cut, and you can sort of see Loris having just cut something in a big burst of flames, and he's looked off to his right and just sort of jumped into the vines.
Yeah. Well, he's having fun down there. I'll leave him alone.
Loris is where he wants to be.
But you two, looking to your right over to where Morley is, you're just seeing a bunch of these things you recognize as twig blights climbing in and through this doorway.
And they're like 3 feet tall or so.
Yeah, they're pretty small.
Right. Oh shit! So they're just clamoring out. They're about to bust in.
Yeah.
I'm okay. That's freaky. Well, I'm going to cast Ice Knife on them. I'm going to point my finger down there.
Yeah. Okay.
And I want to, because it gets everything around it, so I want to get one in the middle.
Yeah, you can
of
sort
it.
of aim at the as far in as you can see, so which would be like the door frame. They're sort of all clambering at the door frame.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
That didn't do a hell of a lot. It should hit, but out of a 1d10 for damage, I got a 1 for piercing. So I got a 20 to hit,
Yeah.
1 piercing damage, and then they have to all do a 15 dex save, I think.
Okay, I got.
Including the,
Okay, I can do some dex rolls.
and if they fail, they will take 5 cold damage.
Okay, cool. And what do they have to roll? 15.
15 dex.
Okay.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm just doing some rolls here. 4, 5, 6, 7. So you managed to hit one of the ones in the middle of the group at the door, and it lodges in and just explodes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the ones like in that door frame just drop down, dead in the door frame. But it just reveals more behind them.
Oh, so are they as far as the eye can see type shit?
As far as you can see, it looks like that room in there is full, but you can't see much of the room.
Close the door, Morley. That's dangerous.
Anything else from the Baron?
No, I was going to go inside the house, but I'm not going in there now.
Okay, cool. Bill,
Was that where I
over
am?
to you.
Kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here. I'm just gonna call out to these two. I guess they're in a bit of a tussle,
Yep.
and just like draw out my rapier and just slam it against the door
Okay.
to try to get their attention.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I need to see... I'm going to roll something to see if that kind of... what am I going to roll for that one? I will roll this. And can you give me... like let's say a charisma roll. It's kind of like how loud and you're trying to be here.
I'm good at being loud. I roll. Maybe not. I rolled a 2
Okay.
plus
What happened
5.
to your plus 10? Was that something else, is it?
That's
Ah,
persuasion.
persuasion. Okay, cool. It's still enough. You start hammering, and you see both of these blights look over in your direction.
Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ready an attack. One hand on the door handle.
Mm-hmm.
One hand on my rapier. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to interpose the door between me and the twig blights as they approach and stab in the
All right,
gap.
so you're trying to...
and I'm hoping...
You're kind of stepping back into the room. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm trying to get some cover from the door, but up to you about how that works.
Yeah, cool. Can I get a... I'll get a sort of perception check from you, actually, as well.
I rolled a 2.
A 2. All right.
Plus 4.
You are solely focused on the 2 out in front of you.
They seem like the biggest danger.
Anything else, Bill? Cool.
Nope, it's me.
Morley, back to you. These things you've seen the Baron's ice knife just shoot out and clear out a bunch of these twig blights, but they're still just clambering over each other to try and get towards you.
Are they? How big are they in front of me? Like, are they up to my waist, up to my knee?
They're about 3 foot tall. So about maybe like waist height, yeah, just over waist height.
All right, absolute wowzers, the lot of them. I've got my little shield. I'm gonna ready my shield, and it's time.
Oh yeah.
It's time, DM. I'm reaching into my jacket pocket and I'm pulling out my useless hilt. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go charging towards the twig bites with my hilt. Like, it's been giving me the vibes, hasn't it?
In fact, the moment you grab it and hold it in your hand, and sort of it gets within view of the twig blights, there's just this pride coming from it, like this, and it's like mixed with this kind of anger that's coming out of this hilt.
Yeah. Here we go. Because I've been thinking that something's just gonna spring out of this thing for a long time, but if not, I'm gonna charge towards them with my shield up, and I'm gonna use it kind of like a stab. But if no blade comes out, which I'm quite prepared for to happen, I'm gonna use it to knuckle dust them. So I'm just gonna take a big swing at a couple of them.
Give me a D20 plus your strength.
Okay.
This could be so disastrous.
What's the manual command here?
You can actually just use the dice roller on the left. I think you can use just roll a D20 and we'll add 2 on top.
Okay, so 14, 15, 16 there. And then strength?
Yeah, plus add your strength on top. So what's your strength modifier?
0.
Okay, that's right. So that's a roll of a 14.
16.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 16. You got your plus 2. You're concentrating so hard. You're kind of like trying to match this energy and emotion coming out of this hilt that you're holding, this platinum hilt that you're holding in your hand, and you bring it up and you swipe out and you just hope. And in just like this moment of this glory, like you've got your eyes closed because you're just kind of hoping, but this blinding light fills the darkness behind your eyelids, and you open your eyes to see this blade of pure sunlight just shooting out from this hilt, which adds +2 to your attack, by the way. So that's a roll of an 18 now. And you just slice through one of these things. Can I get... what is the damage on this thing?
What the heck? I'm seeing this as it happens.
Yeah. Oh, like all of you have noticed just this absolute blinding light coming from the direction of Morley. I think just give me... you've just got a sword in your inventory. Yeah, have you got a sword or something?
I've got a short sword and I'm proficient with
Give me a roll of that, just so I can see what kind of damage we're going to be dealing here.
What sort of sword is it?
It's a short sword. I've also got a rapier.
the magic
At the
one?
moment,
Like, what's the
at the
base?
moment, we're not 100% sure. It looks like it could be anywhere between a short sword and a long sword.
Okay. All right.
Can you
I'm
not
not
even
sure
look
if
at
I've
it
got.
so bright?
I'm not sure if I've got proficiency set up on my roll 20.
That's okay.
It looks like it.
And now give me a D8 as well.
Oh, fuck. Nice.
Okay.
Can I also deal my sneak attack? Oh no, I can't.
You need to have advantage or something.
Yeah.
So no, so it's just 12 damage, which is fine. You blast through one of these twig blights, and the moment it touches it, it just carves through, and this thing just explodes. And it manages just to scrape across one of the twig blights next to it, and it damages it. But the sun blade just flickers. It just flickers and disappears back into the hilt. And there's almost a there's an emotion coming from this hilt, this kind of feeling that of like camaraderie from it, but also just a hint of disappointment. And we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. Let's take a break there.
Wow.
Oh, that was
Morley's
good.
like he's like holding the hilt like George McFly when he punches out Biff at the school dance in the 50s. You know that.
I'm going to break like the fourth wall in the game here, just because I need to just set some rules in regards to this sword, and it's going to be hard to really tie it in with in-game lore. It's a magic item, so you need to be attuned to magic items. So now that you have some sort of idea on how it actions, you just need to spend some time over a long rest testing it out, basically. Yeah, getting to know it,
Polishing it.
really understanding it.
Polishing my hilt
Yeah.
over a reach. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
Just a real kinship.
yeah. Oof, that's there's a lot of blights out there.
Oh.
So many blights.
Joe, American, I feel bad. I feel bad in regards to that spell. I don't know what the best way around that would be, other than, I don't know. It was not something we'd discussed. I didn't know what you're really aiming for. I just kind of took it as I thought it would be, in that kind of.
I'm not gonna lie, I am devastated.
Let's talk through that.
I'm really.
Let's talk
What?
through that.
It's
It's interesting.
it's given well because it just means that it gives cover to all my enemies instead of helping the party. So it's shit now. So
In that
like,
situation,
rules
it does.
with that rule.
Yeah, I mean, in
in my
that
opinion.
specific situation where there are plants taller than them, yeah.
And that doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, nah. Well, yeah.
know.
You would think that I would know that as the person doing the spell, because I wouldn't have done it.
Right,
Obviously, if it shielded all the enemies from all the stuff that we were trying to do. So
Yeah. Like it slowed them down though, right? Which is what you were hoping to do.
it wasn't. I was hoping to also have them be visible.
Right.
That's like. It's I'm just like, ugh.
It didn't really stop anything though. Like
But
a
it stopped,
fireball still hit.
but it stopped the momentum of anyone who wasn't magic trying to aim at them, and it stopped the combo that I wanted to do with Loris, and it also stopped the ability of myself to attack them. Like the whole point is it restrains them in place. So like now I was like, oh sweet, we can. That's like I've expended a 3rd level spell slot to help everyone be able to target them while they're less able to get at us. So I was like, this is really cool. And then it was like, oh man, I've just put them all in like complete cover. So
Yeah, it was the
I'm just
most
like,
high level druid spell you've got, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
that
the
was
one
like-
I've seen.
that was like a really cool spell that I
How
wanted.
big is it? 100-foot radius?
It was
or a
100
50-foot radius?
yeah, it was
radius.
enormous. It was enormous.
That's massive. You
Yeah.
could, I mean, you could make it so that all the vines stitch together and everything rather than doubling in height. But I gotta
But
say,
even,
at least,
even if they stayed at the height, they were already taller than the blights anyway. So if they'd all
were
stitched
they?
together, then that too would have
I
just
guess that,
made
that's
them invisible.
information that, like, I wouldn't have used it if I'd known that. Like, obviously, being the user of the spell,
Mm-hmm.
you would know how it works, and I just assumed it would be helping the party, not hindering them. So I'm like,
I suppose you get take backsies or something, eh? But at least they didn't double in size
yeah.
because they're plants.
That's why I was looking at the
could've been
information, because it was
worse.
like normal plants or something, or ordinary plants or something along those lines. Because I was
non-magical plants.
yeah, I was looking for any sort of information that could have made it much worse.
I mean, clearly not plants.
Yeah, they're plant
They're
beings, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know about how
plant
others-
their official
monsters.
description is plant. So so yes, they are, but they're just magical, obviously.
But yeah, they're not like the same as a
Yeah,
tree.
and that's why I was looking at the wording, because if it had affected magical plants as well, then things could have gotten
Yeah,
very
could have gone
interesting.
even. What you
It could
would
have
have
gone worse.
loved
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
I mean, there's next level. and now they're twice as
Yeah,
big.
yeah. And these
Oh, shit.
8 foot ones.
I would have just quit the game. I'd be like, bye. My character kills herself. Bye.
Sometimes sometimes things don't go how you want them to go, and that's okay. It's all part of the larger story.
Well, no.
Yeah. Plenty of
It's
things that
not
Loris
like-
tries
Well-
fail.
Constantly
Well,
not
remember-
knowing my own spells. Like, that's not what the character would do. They wouldn't not know how their own spell
But
works.
you've never used it before, right? And she's
Well,
never
no,
that's
but
like this.
I think that you would know how your own spell works, though.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
guess that's up to like how individual spell users see it. Like, if you've picked a spell, does that mean you're automatically an expert in it, or is it just like this is the first time you've used it? I don't know, and I it can be ruled either way, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
I
sort
guess-
of a matter of yeah.
I just read it and thought it would be helpful.
And it slowed them down. It enabled people to get some good
No,
fireballs and
I that it didn't help at all.
okay.
I think it helped
Yeah.
quite a lot.
It helped. Like, it certainly stopped them charging us. Like, we could have had a horde of twig people rushing at us, and we would have been
They're still
surrounded.
nowhere
I mean,
near us.
They're nowhere
let me
near
just
us.
say
We've had
that
to go
it
to them.
stopped something very specific that was going to happen from happening. That could have been pretty
Yeah.
bad. So it helped.
And it's allowed Baron to firebomb twice rather
What
than
has?
probably just once. The
Yeah,
plant growth.
I,
No, I
Stop
could have
them all.
firebombed again.
I
can't
also
change- I can't change the way I feel about it because this just seems to happen all the time when I cast spells, and I just feel like I'm so sick of my spells backfiring on me in unintended ways that it just feels like my character is like so dumb and like not helping the way I wanted to help. So I just feel like
So what do I do in that scenario? Just let the player decide how everything rolls out. Like if they do something that
I don't know,
that I
I don't
decide
know, I
has
guess,
an
like-
unintended consequence, I just have to go. Well, I'll just let the player decide what happens with it instead of doing my
I don't
job
know,
as a
I-
DM. Like what?
I don't
what
know,
is
I
the
just
what's the
think-
way to go about it?
Well, one thing you could do, you could say, well, this is how it's going to play out, and you would know that. Is that what you want to do? This is often what you do anyway. And
that
so
would be-
if you don't want to do it, then do something else.
Because otherwise, like, what's the point of being a magic user if you don't even know what your spells are going to do and you just end up harming the party's goals? You know?
It does make you feel stink if you but a lot of these spells do this, and that's just the way they are. Things like sleep and
Yeah, I guess it's
what's
like
the other one? Silence.
it's fine if
Yeah.
you know it's going to do it.
Like there's
And my-
there's
Yeah,
definitely
I
been
think this
use
is a
of
bit different.
s-
You would know that it would instantly obscure everyone.
Yeah, like that's like a really gutting side effect for me because I just thought it would be really cool.
I know that
I've got darkness, and I've never used
I know
it.
John used silence once, and it basically completely backfired in regards to
Yeah.
who could hear certain warnings. He was just like, well, shit. That was annoying.
Yeah, but at least like it's in the name, like you know it's going to make things silent.
Well, it's in the name. You knew plants were going to
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah, but it's in when you read the rules specifically, it doesn't mention that it will obscure enemies who are in the overgrowth.
Yeah.
Which is a
Yeah,
very
you can just make them more gnarled rather. It doesn't say makes it twice as tall.
Yeah,
That's
but
all.
like I said, even if they
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
twice as tall, if the vines all just matted together, that would also obscure your view of them.
I guess like
Sure,
it's
yeah.
one of those things that it doesn't say that it gives all the enemies full cover. So I guess it's interpretable by the DM, but as a player, it's like your own character would surely know that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, and it might be the case where I do what Shannon was saying, where I say, well, this is what's going to happen if you do it. Are you sure you're going to do it? But now I need to try and figure out which spells do I give you guys the information. Is it every time someone casts a spell?
No, I think it's if something really unexpected would happen, that it could be counter to
Right,
when you think would happen.
right.
Because you know what's it just means I can't use the spell now because like if they're in plants, they have to be in plants to do it. So I can't. So every time I do it, they're going to be obscured unless they're just on like grass.
Well, no, like what if there were a bunch of ogres coming at you through a field, right?
But like what I'm saying is
versus
it's
a mouse or a bunch of mice coming at you in a field. Obviously, that same
I'm
spell
saying-
is going to be very different depending on the creature that you're doing it around.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying it severely limits the utility of the spell, which is why I'm like, oh man, that's a.
I mean, like, so what do we want to do moving forward?
It's up to you. You're the DM.
Yeah.
I like the idea.
I would just say like, hey, is it going to be obscuring everything, or if it is, maybe I won't use it for this instance,
Like,
or is it just going to slow them down?
if the spellcaster tells you their intention, right? I guess you either roll with it and in your own mind sort of be like, okay, there might be some minor inconvenience or minor surprises. If you feel it's like counter to the intention, you might sort of choose to warn of the ramification and say, you can do that, but this will happen. Like shit.
I used to do it a lot when I was DMing, and I would go, "Yeah, you fucked up," you know, and I'd do something.
Yeah.
That they didn't expect.
Hey, I'm open to the fact that I called this one wrong. That's fine. So I'm
No,
saying, what do we do from
Regardless of
here?
it.
I guess.
Well, if it's going to act differently each time you use it, I would just say, if someone goes to use it, just say, well, you know what's going to make this thing, and cover their vision. Do you still want to do it?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you called it wrong, Reagan. I just think the consequences weren't what American wanted to
I mean,
happen.
in the
That's what
end-
was-
In
yeah.
my head, I thought it was all about slowing them down. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It counter to the spirit of the rule, but that's a subjective thing.
Yeah. I don't agree with that, but I understand that you do, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Yeah, and it's just how we can make sure that this stuff, because the last thing I want of any of my players is for them to feel bad about any of the sessions. If you come away going, well, fuck this, I don't want to play anymore because something that I tried to do that I thought was really cool is just never going to work. And it's all about interpretation and discussion. That's why I wanted to chat about it and not let it just like sit there. I wanted to find out what you wanted.
And I think it does have a difference between like, because often things will go wrong, but it makes it more interesting. That's the unexpected part of D&D.
Yeah.
Is when you botch something or something goes wrong. But it's different when you are using your special power that you've just got to level 6 to do, and it doesn't really work out. That's why often you want to say, mate really empowers people. As long as they get to do something cool per session, usually people go away pretty happy. So that's probably the difference between, because things going wrong can be fun, but not so fun if that's your chance to do your big move.
Yeah, because I know that Joe's felt that a few of her spells have just not gone how she's wanted, all the way back to like
Probably
the second
first
session.
vine growth on the bridge. Remember the bridge? And your intention was to grab someone. So I think in your mind, Reagan, you've got a really cool idea of what these vines do,
Right?
And they're just chaotic and they grow really huge. Whereas American was probably think they're more bit controlled.
Okay.
Yeah, like I would think I would be able to control them to do what I want.
Cool.
Do you guys play the rule of cool?
I guess I'm not ashamed to just say that I it does bother me because I'm starting to feel a bit like the party screw up because it's just like all the time. I feel like
That role is taken.
I feel like I'm losing it that doesn't come
right
until
here.
I
Every
spell
fucking week.
Okay, so why don't we do? Let's try something new when
I
it
think
comes
everyone
to.
feels like that at some point.
Let's try something different when it comes to.
Silencing everything and putting people to sleep. Or,
like I don't mind it every once in a while.
Well, it's only ever been every once in
when
a while.
I save up my super cool new spell that uses like my biggest spell slot, and it's like it does exactly what you don't want. You're like, yeah, I'm a cool
So why
druid.
don't we try something different moving forward then? If there's something that you're specifically trying to do, don't like put that into your description, because I was kind of like, oh, well, describe to me how it goes, and I will describe what happens. And you just said, you cast the spell, but maybe from your point of view, put in a little bit more of your intention into that description, and I will do my best to ask for clarification if I'm not hearing a specific thing. Otherwise, I'm just going to make it up. And
I think that's fair, because if we just say, I want to cast a spell,
yeah.
I mean,
DM's going to go, here's
describe
what
it.
happens.
I actually did describe it. I didn't just say I use plant growth.
Yeah, but if you're going to say, I use plant growth, but the intent is to hold them rather than cover,
Yeah.
I
then
did
Reagan
say
can
that.
go, this is what I want to do.
Well, I'll have to.
I said I'm going to hold on to them and whatever. I didn't say but not cover because I didn't think that was a thing that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of like, maybe at that point Reagan goes, well, because they're 3 foot and these vines are already, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? That just clarifying,
Because-
just to make sure, and then you don't get unhappy. Kind of, oh, it's not what I wanted.
And would it be just as gutting if I said, look, this is what's going to happen, and then you're like, oh, fine, I won't do it. And then you have to think of
it
something
would
else.
still be disappointing if I felt that wasn't in the spirit of the spell, and I don't. But it would be less gutting because it would be like, oh, okay, well, I at least can do something else that's not terrible.
Okay.
I mean, I think from my point of view, like a lot of spells have really good positive stuff, but almost every spell has some kind of consequence for casting it.
Yeah, but it doesn't say that in the spell description, importantly.
Well,
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't specifically say it covers things, but it does. It says it overgrows,
Yeah.
and most overgrown things cover what they're standing in front of. These are 3 foot plant people.
Well, it doesn't say
Again-
it doesn't say how high it grows.
no,
so,
but even
you
if it just like
Yeah.
mattered
open
together.
to interpretation,
It is,
but I
it
don't
is.
want to go on about this for
Okay.
long. I've sort of decided what my interpretation of it is,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean
Well,
that.
the chat is 100% on your side on this one. They think I've done a bad call.
Oh, really?
They think I've done a bad call. There's one or two that are just like, they can see both sides. But the chat is 100% on your side. Well, someone just said, not 100%, but a lot of them are
99%.
a lot of them is
Oh,
on
that-
your side.
I'm
One so
starting to
much.
feel like a bit like I didn't want to come off like a silly drama queen
No,
about
no.
it.
People
But-
agree. There, before we get back into it, let's read over some of the stuff that said, because there's been actually a lot of conversation about it in the chat. Someone said, I could have argued that the plant growth spell actually only targets the path between the vines, since the spell states you can exclude one or more areas of any size within the spell's area from being affected.
Oh,
So
I didn't even see that.
so someone else said it's the part of the DM's role is to point out that there are obvious negative effects due to players' strategy, things that they would know in the game. And I've got my own thoughts on that, and I'm like, Dave, this is the first time you've only just picked this and used it. You've never used it before. There's some learning, but maybe now is not the time for me to be like, your character has something to learn. Yeah, someone else said, I feel the DM could explain what the outcome might be and allow the caster to reconsider. And I have said in the past, if I detail something and then you just go, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm happy to rewind that time, but I'm not happy just to change how it reacts. Having that conversation can sometimes really slow things down. I'd rather just make a call on, do you want to cast it or do you not want to cast it, I guess. Someone said in their DMing life, they've had Fireball kill more PCs than dragons, which is, again, just another case of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, of course, dragons are fire resistant.
Yeah.
And Fireball is a notoriously hard spell to cast effectively.
Wasn't a good DM call. Reckon she's actually correct. Someone said, yep. Yeah, 100% with the DM, but I can see both sides. Notches, one of our subscribers, this one cut me hard, said it was a horrible call by the DM. My mouse pointer was posing over the unsub button for a moment there. Notches. Ouch.
Notches.
Yeah.
Notches.
Yeah.
Go on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joe's like, tell me more about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like,
She's
Agreeing
gathering
so
supporters for an overtake.
Yeah.
I was like, am I just being like silly?
By unsubscribing, you're also not supporting American here, so think of it that way.
No, I want to
Are you okay? Everyone
Do it.
unsubscribe. Joe has asked everybody to unsubscribe. Feel free to.
Please all
Yeah.
unsubscribe.
Would you also unsubscribe like that time that I missed like that guy with that bolt because that was like
Pretty much, if everyone could unsubscribe, that would be fantastic. Okay, so moving forward, I'll ask for a bit more clarification. Joe, I'm really sorry that played out the way it did. I don't know how much we can really rewind at this point.
Oh, I'm not asking for anything drastic like that, but I just, I like being honest, and I actually really enjoy the discussions we have about like the metagame and stuff. So I'm like,
And that's 100% why I wanted to chat about this. I didn't want it to stew. I wanted to have a discussion and figure it all out and make sure we don't make these same mistakes moving forward. So we're not going to make these same mistakes. The only thing I can do is give you back a 3rd level spell slot to make you feel
I don't even have to
happy
do
to
that,
do
to
it.
be honest.
Happy
It's
to do
fine.
it. I'm more than happy to do it.
Fine.
Think of it as just a freak occurrence out in the field.
No, it's fine.
Oh shit, group.
Yeah. But if Baron is going to come back anytime, we can finish off the session for the night.
Here he is.
Cool, there he is. He's back with a cool little pose there, frozen.
It's cheeky.
There's a very cheeky pose.
dear.
Are
Oh,
you back? No, he's gone. He's just
No.
going back. Anyway,
No.
while we're waiting for Shannon to jump back in, thanks to all the viewers for all the support tonight. You guys have been fantastic. We've had a couple of extra followers and a couple of bits being thrown our way as well. So thank you to... I've already said thank you to that person. So Zero Crits Roleplay, thank you. Random, thanks for those bits, and thank you so much for moderating our chat. I saw you getting rid of a few messages there, so thank you so much. In between,
Yeah, bravo, Random.
Trainson and BC Lurker, thank you so much for giving a follow. If you like what we've been doing tonight, please do give us a follow, because we're so close to that 600 mark, which is very, very, very cool. And Kalan, thank you so much for the bits as well. Nice 500 bits there. Thank you so much. Come and talk to us in our Discord. You can > Discord to get a link, and you can talk about how bad of a call I had tonight and tell me how I should do things differently. And because I'm open to it, I'm totally open to that. I'm open to becoming better at this entire game. But
You remind me of the Dean on The Simpsons when he says to Homer, "Perhaps I've been a bit of an ogre myself."
And he's like been the nicest person in the world the whole time. And then Homer's just like, yes, you have.
so let's get you back on the map. But Joe, please do take a 3rd level spell slot back. That didn't go how you wanted it, so it's just a random freak occurrence out in the field. And we are at the top of the order with American. American, from behind, you have heard and seen amazing things from behind you. First of all, there was Baron shooting his ice knife that you heard crack, and it was a familiar sound, and you turn to see just this blinding light coming out of the hilt of something within Morley's hands.
My spirits, what's that?
And before you know it, a couple of these twig blights in the doorway drop, and that bright light just dissipates and flashes and disappears.
So I'm sort of like flicking between looking at Loris wading into this overgrowth and danger, and then looking over to Morley. And how many of those little blights am I seeing?
So behind you, you are seeing like what looks like a couple of dozen pouring in through this doorway in front of Morley,
That's a lot.
who is face to face with them, I think.
I'm gonna go,
Morley's
oh,
got
that's a
them.
lot of blights. I'm gonna say, runs in, go and help Loris. And Runzin's gonna run in a little bit, just far away enough to web one of the blights that's attacking Loris.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's pretty tight in there, but because of how small he is, he just sort of manages to not be impeded at all, because he has web walk and stuff like that. So going through dangerous terrain, simple for him. Simple. A roll of.
So
What'd you roll there?
yeah, so it's just straight away restrained, and then on its turn, it has to make a strength check.
Okay, cool. Yeah, great. With a roll of 16, yeah, it's perfect. He runs out right up next to this blight.
I want him to stay a little bit further away because it's a ranged attack. I don't
You
want
put
him
him
right up.
wherever you want him then. And manages just to cover this blight and restrain this blight.
Okay, that's good. Very good. Good boy, good child. But I'm going to turn my attention away from Loris. I'm like, he'll be fine, he'll be fine. And I'm going to turn my attention to the many, many, many blights coming pouring through that door. And I'm going to be like, ooh, kill it with fire! And I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere.
Flaming.
I'm gonna put a hand into my pouch and like do a fabulous sprinkle of powder and conjure up a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire.
Jesus. Ooh. Where are you conjuring it?
5-foot radius?
5-foot diameter.
Okay, so it's a...
Okay, so just one square.
And I'm gonna cast it in amongst all of those blights.
Okay, I feel like this is a really good chance for me to play the game of what we were talking about just before. This is a wooden winery.
Yep.
So depending on where you're placing it, it could have... and if it hovers, if it floats, like, I don't know what it does, so...
5 foot.
For things like fireball, it says it catches fire to anything.
It doesn't.
That's
It says
flammable?
it ignite. Okay, so let's see. It ignites flammable objects not being worn or carried.
Cool.
But it doesn't. That wouldn't be like touching the wood, would it?
It depends.
It depends on where you put it. It's a 5-foot sphere, right? So it's like a ball of fire that you're placing somewhere.
Yeah.
If it touches a wall, it will set it alight. If
Yeah.
it doesn't touch a wall, then it won't.
If it
So
if it puts something on fire that is touching wood, that fire could spread.
Yeah.
yeah.
True.
So those are consequences you have to think about.
It's not going to be touching the wood. Yes.
Okay, if
I'm
you...
not going to cast it on the wood. I'm going to cast it so it's next to the wood.
Okay.
Right.
Reagan, are you saying that the blight can catch fire and all the other blights can catch fire?
So any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere gets bad things
Sure.
happen.
If the I'm just going to say,
But I'm only going to do it if I don't frickin' burn this thing to the ground.
if you're going to cast it on any of the blights that are inside this thing, then you risk catching this thing, the winery on fire, because if the blights catch on fire and fall down onto wood, there's going to be a spread of fire.
I'm like, bitch, I control fire. It's all good. I got it.
Okay.
Don't you
just gonna
control non-magical fire? Then
I mean, 6. Yeah, but once it
Yeah, we already had
starts
this
spreading, we've
weird...
decided it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
magic.
we had this long
Yeah,
discussion.
We already went this is Windmill 2.0, I swear. So what I'm going to say is if it lights everything frickin' on fire, in 6 seconds it'll be my turn again and I'll frickin' put it
Okay,
out. How
that
about
sounds good.
Let's
Alright,
burn
man.
them bitches. I'm ready.
Yeah, American, get it. Get it,
I'm
girl.
gonna kill y'all.
So what do you do to cast this thing?
So I guess it has to wait until it ends its turn. I'm going to put it in the midst of as many as I can. And whoever of them ends its turn is when it messes them up. So it doesn't do it immediately. It waits till their turn ends.
Right, can you just click on it just so I can take a quick read over it?
Oh, right. Sorry. I forgot to put that in the frickin' chat. I'm doing it.
After all this careful planning, I'm going to run in with like firebolt cantrips left, right, and centre
Oh,
there.
that...
Did it? Oh, wait. It didn't do a description. That's
So-
great.
you people on fire.
So it just creates a ball and then it just damages them straight away, or do they try and avoid it?
Hang on. Wait. I'm going to put it in properly now.
Should be called Great Balls of Fire.
Let me edit my Roll20 with finesse. Here we go. There's your description.
Unoccupied space. It has to be an unoccupied space. And any
Okay.
creature that ends
Oh, I
its
can't
turn
re-
within 5 feet of it. So it's like you... So are you going to put it in front of them as they're all trying to get out of the door?
Oh.
Well, here's my problem. I can't see, but surely I could run up and put it in there.
It can only be in an unoccupied space.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
well,
the
I'll put
tricky
it in
part.
front of them and be like, watch out, Morley. Don't end your turn next to this fire.
If it floats, you could put it. If it floats, you could put it above them.
But that would only touch one of
Yeah,
them.
then only one thing would
At a
be within
time.
5 feet of it.
But this is good if it acts as a wall to stop them coming out.
Spells, huh? Shit.
Who do you, I'm changing to a fighter, honestly. Done.
It's honestly not that simple either. The number of times I've
If
tried
you ram the
that's
sphere
failed.
into a creature, that creature must make a saving throw. So you can,
No, that's just on my
can
bonus
move it
action.
around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How long is it around for? Is
Okay,
it concentrated?
well, I just use my action to conjure it and then use my bonus action to move it in amongst
Absolutely.
them. Done. Okay, we do that.
Okay, do you want to just describe it so I don't misinterpret anything? Let's just tell me. You tell me.
I light the entire winery on fire.
And burn the fuckers down.
I conjure a magical sphere of fire
Okay.
in front of
Yeah.
them. And then I, with a deft flick of the wrist, maneuver it right into the center of those little lights and wait for it to burn their asses.
Okay, a saving throw. Creature must make the saving throw against the sphere's damage, and the sphere stops moving this turn. So basically, it just rams into the first one it sees. We're going to try and make a saving throw. What is your spell save?
I want to say 14.
This
I can look that up.
this one just crit succeeded. And the sphere stops where it. So it's basically this one that it rams into, and that's near Morley, just dodges out of the way as this thing pushes through, and it lands kind of in between all of them. And so next round, when you move the sphere, you can direct it over barriers of up to 5 feet tall and jump it across pits. The sphere ignites flammable options, not being blah blah blah. And anyone that ends its turn within 5 feet must make the... okay, cool. So it didn't manage to damage that thing, but it took half damage, so I'll take your first roll far out. Okay,
Do a
Jesus
spell.
Christ, the spell. Right, you cast it, this twig blight does manage to dodge it, but because of the heat of this thing, it still just goes up in flames. It takes 4 damage, which is enough to kill it as it sort of lands out on the veranda dead. It is now sort of placed in front of this doorway with many of these twig blights surrounding it.
What does it sound like as it's dying?
It sounds a lot like me just running the session, I think.
I demand a voice. I demand a voice.
It just lets out a very similar scream to what was coming out of the needle blights out in the field.
I like Shannon's one where it just goes, ah!
Fire!
Tell them I love them, and you're like, oh no, we're monsters.
So that was your bonus action as well, American. Is that right? Okay, cool. It is the Blight's turn, specifically the ones out in the field. Dave, the ones that are around you just start clawing at you. They just come charging in and start clawing at you, both of them.
Well, isn't one unrestrained and web?
No.
And
One of the
isn't
three.
that one
One
dead?
of the three is. Oh wait, which one died? I thought you killed.
Didn't that one die? That one was killed. That one was killed by Morley.
That's right.
I killed that
Okay,
one.
That's cool.
Trust me, I know which one Morley killed.
yeah. Okay.
He was
So the one
mine.
that isn't currently restrained misses completely. The one that is restrained is just going to try and break out. What did it have to roll? Target
Had to
over
roll like a 12 or
12.
something.
It did not, and is going to remain restrained. And so you're seeing in front of you, Loris, while still being kind of grappled by these vines. One of these things just swipe out and miss, and the other one trying to break this grip and failing completely. The needle blights off to the east managed to push their way out of the growth there, and start making their way around the vineyard. Just a few of them. Let's have a look. Just move the rest of these up a little bit. The ones that didn't get killed by the blast. And the two that are on the ground spend half their turn standing up and start moving also towards the barn. They let out that familiar scream, but also this time just a burst of pollen just kicks out from a bunch of the ones that are making their way out from the eastern side of this vineyard. And the two that got the attention of Bill just shoot out with their needles. Now, you had something prepared only if they got right up close, is that right?
I was just trying to interpose the door between me and
Oh,
them.
okay, cool. So
And I'm just gonna yell out and it's gonna say, "Ah, yuck, plant jizz."
Oh, dear God.
And use cutting words on one of
Okay.
them as a reaction. That's like a thing I have. To try to not get hit by their planches.
Okay, so the pollen isn't an attack.
Sorry. I mean the
Oh right.
spikes.
Okay. Cool.
That's just
So
joking.
what do you roll for that?
So you roll, and then I reduce one of
cool.
them, their 2-hit number by my bardic inspiration dice.
Okay, I've rolled. I've
So-
rolled for both of the two that were trying to attack.
So the first one, reduce its 2-hit by
And what's
8.
your AC?
17.
Yeah, okay. Both of these miss. Both of these.
Oh wait, sorry. No, 15. 15.
15. Okay. We're going to add 2 on because you've got like some partial cover from that door, so it bumps it up to 17. Okay. So it is still a miss from both, and there is just one more attack that comes out from another one that's coming at you, and that's a miss as well.
Comes out.
That just thuds into the door. All these needles are now just lining this door. Unfortunately, actually, no, you don't really hear them. Can I get a perception roll from you there, Bill?
I rolled a 10 plus 4.
You can hear something through the eastern wall there. It sounds like just through that wall, yeah. It sounds like footsteps, some sort of shambling sounds that you can hear through that wall, but you can't really see anything from your current position. And that is their turn. Over to Loris.
So I'm grappled at the moment, eh?
Yes.
All right. So I want to show. I want to basically just looking at this. Looking at the guy that's webbed and can't break out of a web. I kind of want to show him how to get out of a situation when you're grappled. So I kind of just look at him until I want to burst out of these vines and just kind of, and then I'm going to smash him down for being a loser.
Okay. All right. If you want to break out of those vines, we're going to need a saving throw. Strength. Yeah.
Strength saving throw. If I fail this, I should just die right now. Oh Jesus! I tried to fail it. I rolled a 9 plus 8. I rolled a 14.
that's enough to just snap these vines.
So yeah, just want to bust out of the vines and just kind of give him a bit of a look, and then I'm going to grab my axe and instead of slicing him, I'm just going to flat pat him on the head.
Okay.
Just basically a whack.
All right, give us a roll to hit. The one that's restrained.
Yeah, the one that's restrained. So I roll a 27, doing 9 damage.
Yeah, okay, perfect. You just like clang this flat side of the axe just down into the vines. There's not, it pushes him down, like really crumples him down onto like one of his knees, and he's still just covered in web, and is making these kind of growling sounds deep from within it. And you managed to have done 9 damage to it.
No.
Cool.
Or was that 10 damage? Given
Oh,
its,
magical weapon. 10 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this blight is not looking good. It's barely able to lift its head.
Okay, so second attack on it, I'm going to basically try and decapitate it.
Well, how many actions do you get?
Well, I get 2 attacks on my as a one. Well, that depends on how you want to
Because
take.
the strength saving throw was an action.
Then in that
Yeah,
case, I'm
cool.
done. I'm just going to look.
Okay, cool. Baron, over to you.
Okay, I want to. I've seen this fireball, so I think that's under control there. Nothing's going to be coming through that door. And I can't actually probably see. I'm going to move towards these twig blights on the right. I think I should be a bit. I can't move my guy. I should be closer to American already, I think. And I'm going to cast Ice Knife at level 2.
Okay.
At this guy. He's in the middle of these other ones on the right.
That clump of 3 off to the right there, or the clump of 4?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that one. Ice Knife at level 2.
Okay, cool. Give us a roll to hit.
I'll roll it as level 1, and then I'll add a d6 for cold damage. So what is it?
24. Nice roll.
All right, yeah, 24 to hit.
Cool. So that just lands directly into the chest of this blight.
Cool, and that does 5 piercing damage.
Cool.
And then I'll roll an extra d6 to add to the cold damage.
Nice.
So it's another 6.
Damn. All right. So
7
so
plus
that
6.
just explodes and like just does what, 13 damage against each of the blights surrounding it.
If they fail a 15 dex save, including the one in the middle.
Man, your spells have got so powerful.
3,
It's only good because they're clumped together.
4. And what did they have to beat for that? 15, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So only one of them failed that, and I'm going to classify that as the one that it hit, basically. If I think that makes the most sense. So that the Ice Knife just lands straight into this blight's chest and explodes. The others manage to just be shielded by the body. Do they take half damage or anything from that?
No.
And so it just like
It's just if they...
absolutely shreds that blight. The little green vines that make up its build just absolutely shred, and it falls into just a pile of vines on the ground between these others.
Cool.
Anything else from Baron?
I'll go... no, I'll stay where I am.
Cool. Bill, over to you.
Oh, a little bit worried about this noise I'm hearing from over here.
Yeah. It sounds like the same sort of sound that the blights are making as they're trudging across the gravel towards you.
The same
It's
sort of
very
sound.
similar. It sounds like footsteps. Yeah.
Right, okay. What's happening with the guy that I cast the thing on before?
He's snapped out of it now. He's coming towards you.
Okay. I think I'm gonna continue trying to draw them in by clanging my sword on the door again. And drawing their attention away from the Baron. Well, that's my hope. I
Yeah,
guess.
give me another. We'll go with persuasion. I think persuasion is a good roll for this one.
Oh, that's lucky because I'm good at that. I rolled a 4, but it is a plus 10, so 14 total.
And I'm just gonna roll something to see how well. Yeah, that's perfect. Yep, you've basically gained the attention of like the nearest 5.
Get over here, you blighters.
Nice.
And I'm gonna ready an action.
What are you gonna ready?
I'm gonna stab one of them when they come
Cool.
close.
Morley, you're standing next to this glowing fireball at this point that has just torched one of these twig blights in front of you. Now these little guys in front of you are a little shorter, a little more wooden than the last, the ones out that you saw out in the field. And you've seen what that amazing sunblade in your hand can do to them. But it's almost, there's not a contempt, but there's no interest in further helping you coming from that blade.
Is this a partnership or is it a bit of a one-way thing? It's a little bit snooty of it. Okay. See, like, listening to my emotions and listening to the hilt, but also summing up the fact that these things are not much of a threat. I'm going to quickly, like, stuff that back inside my coat. But I am feeling like the greatest hero that the world has ever seen. I'm looking at all these things coming out of this doorway. So I'm going to kind of run back towards like the front of this structure to Baron and American saying, "They're in the house! They're in the house!" And then I'm going to throw out a witch bolt.
Oh, fantastic.
To a couple of these suckers in here. I can only target one, right? Like, you're not going to allow me any residual damage.
It depends. Like we use the cleave rule for when if you've got a bunch in front of you and you're slicing like with a big sword. If that you do over the damage, it sort of follows through that sword, so into the one next to it. So let's take a look and see what sort of damage you do.
Okay, I'm just going to cast it at level 1.
And I'm just going to have a quick look at what this does. Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Shoots a witch.
Bugger all.
Yeah, I mean, a roll of a 5.
What'd you do?
I would have to be one of the least competent spellcasters that the world has ever seen.
You just run across the veranda and down the steps and just point out towards them, and you just send this like blue crackling bolt of light just into the above the door frame, just like, up against it.
Good.
Helping. Yeah. Anything else from Morley?
Wait, so what's the residual damage on that? Are they all dead?
No,
or
I mean,
what?
there's a little char mark on the wall.
Yeah. It burnt a hole in the wall. Yeah.
Sick. Okay. No, just to keep pointing and saying, "The house is full of them. The house is full of them."
Can you give me a perception check as well, please? Uh, 14. I'm just gonna
14.
roll. Okay. Yeah, you're just seeing still like what looks like maybe another 20 twig blights behind the door frame there. But that's really all that's taking your attention. And it
Only 20
and
enemies.
it is the twig blights turn at the moment, and they just all start charging through. Not the dead one. Dead one just stays on the ground. And I'm just going to have to spawn a whole bunch of these.
Now, don't go finishing them off before I get there, alright?
I don't even know if you're aware that they're...
I'll do what I
I don't
want.
even know if you are aware that they are there
No,
at
I
this
have no
point.
idea, but I want to turn around and see a whole pile of enemies that I can run into.
Got to deal with your 2.
Sorry, I'm
assuming there's more of
I'm
them
just
around,
hoping
but-
a bunch of them end their turn next to the fire spell. I'm really... That's my fear, that they're all just going to like successfully run past.
They are
it.
running. They
I'll be
are
like,
running.
very
They are
good,
running
very good
past
spell.
as they are making their way, sort of pouring out of this doorway. So, but there is like
Fucking hell.
4 that are ending their turn right next to it. They get to the end of their limit
I'll
and just
take it.
and stop right next to this thing. So, what sort of damage are we getting from that? It's like 2d.
2d6.
Give us
on a
that's
failed
right, they
save.
gotta-
Oh, so they first have to make a dexterity saving. throw.
Cool. So they all run through. We give 4 rolls here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3 of them have failed. So give us 2d6,
So they...
was it?
Okay. Yep, 2d6. And I've rolled an 8.
Okay.
And so the one that didn't fail takes half of that. So it takes 4.
Okay, perfect. Well, all 4 of them just die. Just like absolutely erupt into flame as they sort of end their turn next to this thing. It's just...
I did a thing!
But the remaining ones, especially the ones up close to both Morley and American, two of them scratch out in Morley's direction. Rolling a 17 and a 20. What's your AC? You've got a shield. You've got a wooden barrel shield there. I'm going to give you a +1 to your AC for that.
Oh, cool, thank you. Yeah, they both.
Okay, so it's doing. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
Go on. I'm going to use my uncanny dodge, but you have to tell me.
Like
what the damage
okay,
is
so the
first.
first one strikes out doing 5 damage, and the second strikes out doing 2 damage.
3.5 damage it is.
3.5, okay, cool.
Take it like a man.
Are we rounding down or you're rounding up?
So you half like one of those attacks, is that right?
When an attacker that you can see hits you, you can use your reaction to half the attack's damage.
So you get 1 reaction. So against an attack. So you half the first one, so that'll be 2 damage from the first one, and then the full damage of the second one, which is 2, so 4 damage total. American, you get one of these little blights scratching out in your direction as well, rolling a 16.
Doesn't meet, doesn't beat.
Doesn't beat, just catches air as this thing. And you're looking out over the sea of these blights, and despite there still being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in front of you, there looks to still be a good 12 or so on the other side of this door frame. And at the back of behind these twig blights is a human woman that's kind of dressed in not rags, but she's got like a cowl, and it's all leather, and there's some furs over and stuff, and she's holding this small stick, and you can just see her looking out across the blights, and she just screams, "Kill them all!"
Whoa.
And that's where we're going to end
a
it
little
for
angry.
tonight.
Oh.
Is that Metallica? Is it Metallica?
Is it kill them all?
Kill them all.
Cool.
Cool.
Wow.
A wild druid has
She
appeared.
controlling them.
Oh, both Reagan and
Or is she
Drew.
telling us?
Maybe she's telling
I've
us.
gone and
Man,
Yeah.
our internet tonight,
Yeah.
top notch.
Wow. Go for
let's try.
great intuition.
Everyone, you guys can all hear them, but they can't hear me. So let's see if we can do another.
Wow, what a
refresh.
session. What did everyone think?
That's a regular to it. Yeah.
Everybody can probably
Oh,
hear
yeah,
us. So
you guys
probably
can just
should-
keep talking.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear
It's
me.
Metallica, by the way.
Sweet. It's
Oh,
like
man.
That's the important part, right?
Shit, there's a lot of these blights.
yeah.
Oh, good. Now the site can't be reached. So this is at least this happened right at the end of the session. I don't know why it's having such a hard time. I wonder if Whereby is having some issues for tonight. Stick around. I hope we will be able to get on and talk to them about what they thought. But feel free to let us know what you thought while we're doing this as well. Oh, man. Might have to put something up in the Discord to let them know that it is not loading. Yeah, sorry about that scream, Eowyn. Yeah, I didn't even know it was coming either, but I thought I had to do something that was big in regards to the druids that were still waiting inside. Hope you guys all enjoyed it tonight. That was a bit of an interesting one. Larp Kiwi, thank you for stopping by. We're only going to be sort of just having a bit of a chat about the game and the session and stuff, so you're not going to miss too much. And it'll be on YouTube anyway afterwards once we get this all sorted. But I do not know why I'm not able to join. I'm just glad these technical difficulties happened right at the end. It would have sucked if they weren't able to see or experience the rest. Swarm rules. Swarm rules is an interesting one that didn't really go. It didn't really get explained in the Curse of Strahd book, but I'm sitting here thinking this entire encounter would have been a lot faster if there was some kind of swarm rules. Looks like other websites are working, just not Whereby. You guys, it seems like they're talking about David Bellamy again for some weird reason. Twig blight swarm would be large. A swarm's always 2 sizes larger than a single creature. There we go. Jesus, we're back.
Hey, there he is.
My God,
Pretty much.
Just in time to bail me out.
Okay, we all missed something good there.
Oh, just
Okay,
yeah,
but
ignore.
nobody could hear.
No one could hear that. I had
Okay,
I had
that's probably
a
quite
blank
good.
screen. I could not connect. I had like total connection issues to just this. Every other website stream is still going, just whereby.
Oh.
So yeah.
Wait, so
Yeah, everyone. Heard.
No.
Everyone heard
You
it.
guys weren't there. No one heard anything you guys were saying. Only they could hear me because I was. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
really? That's so disappointing.
What you talking? All,
Okay, well, let's move on because I'm not repeating it.
what was it? I'm curious. Did
it's for
everybody
the
else
best, isn't
except me and the viewers here?
It's probably not something I should
He
repeat.
said he hates Reagan and Joe, and he wishes they weren't part of the podcast. And
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm not mad.
they're gone. He said.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Sorry, John.
It was quite a bit of a bitter rant, to be honest.
Yeah.
Discussing the blights and
Yeah.
how many of them are, and we've been thinking maybe if we take the bag lady out, then stop the blights coming.
Maybe.
And Dave was bemoaning the fact that he didn't get kills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's absolutely devastated.
I love that he was holding back and holding back and holding back, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm in." And then they all just like appear behind him. It was
It's going on about shit you do that doesn't work out. Like, I hold back going, yeah, there's going to be a swarm of these fuckers come running at me. Boom, they get burnt into a fireball. Damn, they get slowed down. I'm going, they're 45 feet away from me. I can't reach them.
Yeah.
So I just stand there waiting, and then everyone else is killing them. I'm just like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Don't know. I mean, I'm not killing them. I'm sort of helping them. So that's devastating for me.
Wow.
So, it's been a mixed bag.
Loris is very frustrated right now, which is fueling his rage, which is a good thing. But yeah, he doesn't like that other people are killing more things than he is.
Yeah.
Hey, my lightsaber showed up.
I think that's Dave.
How good was the sun sword?
Goliaths are competitive. I love the sun sword. I love that it's got attitude, and it's just like, I'm going to be here for this and that.
Yeah.
I love its attitude.
So,
It's fantastic.
so it obviously it was either disappointed that of the caliber of enemy it was facing, like it was
Or its wielder.
worthy, or could be it's
Oh, shit, it's you that told me, damn it.
Yeah.
thing's gotten to know me. I've been carrying that thing around for a while. It knows if it's a sentient platinum hilt, it knows what Wally's about. And it's engaged with the arena.
He was in the room. Oh no, just for a bit actually, not for. That's right. You slept outside. Yeah, but he's the hilt's known you for a good 24 hours now.
Yeah, I'm interested about how you're going to get to know this hilt more. Given it's quite...
When you're trying to get it to work, you just got to look into the.
How do you work?
Kalan Darklaw said that he's got a request. He said, "Please don't beat yourselves up over what happened tonight." That's fair. I think that's good. I think the discussion, sort of at the halfway mark, was a good discussion to have.
Yeah, I think it was good to talk about, and it's a very common D&D thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone imagines things differently, and it's not happening in reality. So I think it's good to talk about what you expect to happen with your spells, and
Because as a player, you've got a picture of what you think's going to happen, and the DM has, I'm going to rule this way.
Well, it's not even that. It's like if there's not a description of literally the visuals of what is going on, then I have to make those descriptions of visuals up.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to have like you guys just tell me, this is the spell, and I want it to work exactly like this. And it was just we missed some details. That's all. We missed some details. That's all it was.
I don't know, but then you can't just have the player say, "Oh, I cast a spell and it does this."
I can
and you take
no,
that
but I
at face
can
value
say
either.
whether or not that works. So like you just
Yeah.
you tell
You
me
can say, "Here's
exactly
what I
what
want
you
to
want,
happen."
and it could do all of these game-breaking things, and I can go, well, some of that can work, some of that can't, and let's find a way to make that happen in the most legal way possible.
It's almost like here's the thing I'm trying to do, and my intention is that this happens, and then you who is the representing the world says it's not really how the world works.
Yeah.
Or that is how the world works.
Almost every time you guys do anything, almost anything, I'm making up something that is a detail you guys have missed. And it's not because you guys have chosen to miss it, it's because you've just gone, I just want to do this thing. So, Bill, you did your Enemies Abound. I had to decide how that would be interpreted. I didn't ask you, well, who do you think is it going to think of you as an enemy as well as its friends? Does it think of you as a friend and now it's just going to focus on an enemy? Or is this blight something that is just going to attack the nearest enemy? I just have to try and make something. Just try and make something up.
Totally, and like that scenario specifically, I kind of imagine that as like a table of here's all the things within my range, and that's rolled on, or I go for the nearest one, or whatever. Like however you decide to do that.
Yeah.
Like if that's like there are 10 enemies near me, and I roll a d10, and the one that I hit might be Bill.
I think also this sort of thing can come into play when people are making decisions. Like, hey, I want to push this boulder over or something, and often I would say like, oh, you will, well, you didn't think about those people under there or something, and I just roll with it, and they get squashed or something. When I was DMing, which is okay, it can be disappointing. But when it comes to abilities that someone's unlocked, and that's their specialty. That's really what all that the player can do is go, okay, this is what I've been working towards. This is my big move. And if that bites them in the ass, people feel much different about that rather than making a bad decision.
Right.
So and if you roll with them just being able to kick ass with their abilities, they will come out feeling much better about it, which is a mistake that I used to make quite often, I think. And in the end, that's what you should really be going, okay, this is your special. This is what you're good at. Boom, you do it. And they'll love it.
I like what you said earlier as well. I think I was still wearing headphones, but I buggered off to do something where you're like, it's kind of like you're trying to give each person a bit of a moment in the session. And if people are playing to character or playing to type, like people will feel really good about it if their character gets to do the thing that they're trying to do. Yeah.
Random just asked a good thing, which was, did the needle combat wheel effect trigger at all? It didn't trigger. I was not about to have that trigger after some of the things that went down tonight.
And we know nothing about what it does, right?
It'll trigger next week, guaranteed. But I feel like that could have really soured a little bit, especially after the conversations that had happened.
What was the special the tell in it? It's a no from me.
That'll be a no from me.
Yeah.
I'm guessing like it cancels someone's spell automatically or something.
It's got to be something like that. But
I thought it was going to be like a fun, next time you speak, it's a song.
No.
Oh, I think it's Irina to Molly, isn't it?
I was thinking before about what you said about him holding the hilt to his eye. Like, is it time for this hurt? I'm like, he'd need an eye patch after that.
Oh no!
Oh, everyone will be like,
he's definitely
I'm just
a pirate.
gonna say it that you're looking more and more like a pirate.
I know. Imagine if it always goes off by accident, like chops off your leg.
Oh, pig leg.
And it chops off your hand, and you.
By
And the
end of
light is
campaign-
attracting a parrot, maybe.
Yeah, by the end of the campaign,
Tropical
Wally's gonna
parrot.
be-
No, I just want Mirakin to wild shape down into a parrot and just be on your shoulder for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and be like, well, I don't have a flying speed yet, so I'm gonna have to sit here and you carry me around.
Yeah.
What level
Oh,
do you have to be to do flying creatures?
Not sure. I want to say maybe level 7 or something.
It's 7 or 8, wasn't it? That's kind of when the
Yeah.
next big thing happens.
I can do swimming speed now, but I can't do flying.
Someone just asked if the needle triggers stack, and they absolutely do. So we had the handshake one was on for a wee while, and then we've had the magical weapons happen, while also the that'll be a no from me just came up. So yeah,
I'm so pleased we had the magic weapons come into use when we had it.
yeah.
Like it's kind of nice.
Adam,
Makes me happy.
I was thinking about our battle with like so many enemies, and they seem to be like quite weak or not have many hit points. Would you ever approach combat differently with many enemies of a small thing? Because it seems like we'll be here forever clearing out things that present like quite little danger, like not much danger to us, but it's like a time-consuming infestation.
yeah, I mean, like D&D does have like swarm rules.
Right.
Minions.
Yeah. Well, that might be. Is that 4th edition that has minions? I'm not sure.
Oh, well, maybe.
I need to.
And they only have 1 HP a minion.
Yeah.
I think it is a 4th edition rule, but I mean, there's nothing
absolutely,
to stop you
absolutely
saying they are treated like minions.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like I didn't think it was going to be dragged out so long, but
Yeah, the more things you add, it becomes nuts, doesn't it?
yeah. I'm trying to. It's when I'm setting up, I'm like, I think it's going to go this way. So in my head, I was like, oh, if I just chuck heaps of them, they'll run, or they'll go inside, or they'll do something.
Yeah.
But if I just if I
that's what I thought.
if I just chuck a couple of swarms in, it's like sweet. We can just go and charge them. They're just going to 1 HP a bit, whatever. Let's kill them. So it's kind of one of those situations where it's like you can't. I don't know how to change that on the fly. Be like, oh, they want to stick around and fight.
because-
Okay, well now, yeah,
You've got 40
Having
of
low
them.
level enemies can make you feel really good because you're finally able to waste something in one hit and you end up going through it.
yeah.
So that can be kind of addictive rather than running away.
Yeah.
But also, we didn't know how powerful they were, so it's also scary.
Especially when
Just
someone's
the numbers that
firing
can be
away
scary.
86 fireballs. Right in the
Yeah,
center.
What's that?
2 86 damage fireballs. What is it? 24 and 35. It's just
Yeah,
that's kind of fun to watch.
35 on each creature.
24 is the average, right? So you hit the average and then above the average.
I wanted to ask, did we find out if they're weak to fire damage? Because I had hoped they would be. That's why I was focused.
Oh, sorry.
on
That's
fire
that's why
spells.
that's why they just went up so quickly. Sorry, and just died. Yeah,
Yeah.
even when they dodged, there was just it was just wasting them. Sorry.
But does that mean that they take twice as
Yeah, that's
much,
right.
or-
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they were just getting just annihilated from that fire.
Yeah, I was hoping that thing with Loris would be good, but it kind of didn't work out.
Yeah.
So I had to switch to another spell.
Yeah, that one didn't burn up in the same way that the twig blights did. Those twig blights, they went up in smoke. The needle ones, not so much.
It worked well, but it was
yeah.
just
Because it was
I think
like
there's so many
2d8
of them,
plus
you
something
can't-
else, so it was just large
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
you can't
was-
put a dent in them.
It would have been good to do on a large enemy weak to fire, but when you're dealing with lots, it's probably better to do area of effect
So the
spell.
other issue with this setup is that this is designed for like level 3, I think. So I think this is meant to be, well, or maybe it must be like level 4 or something like that. So I scaled this up because I was like, well, it'll be way too easy if there's fewer of these things. So I tried to match the encounter's difficulty using like a battle encounter. So I was like, if they were level 3, this is how difficult it would be. If they're your guys' level, it'd be this difficult. And I just don't think this fight scaled well because of that.
I think
It's a weird one because if you start adding creatures, it really becomes really dangerous for a party. Maybe not with twig bites, but you start to get that spiral of death because if one goes down, you just get swarmed.
And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to intimidate with this fight.
But they can be very dangerous because people don't realize it's not just like bumping up their HP.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like that. As soon as you add more of them, it becomes.
But if I scaled nothing, this entire thing's going to be boring.
Yeah.
I mean, we could still.
We'd be like, what do you mean? Like, it's not even a problem.
Yeah.
The winery's fine. There's like 6 twig lights.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Like we've got three big groups of.
Loris is chewing on one of their thorns just over there.
Get some Roundup.
But we've got like three groups of blights literally surrounding us at the moment.
Well, there's also an old druid
and an old hag that seems to be driving them. So could be harder than we think.
You're pointing
Yeah, well, if we've got a magic user against us all of a sudden, that could really screw everything up.
Yeah.
John.
Just taking a step away from combat for a bit. What I'm really worried about is that we are the bad guys here.
No.
Yeah, why?
Why is that?
What? Well, there's a bunch of what I think might be twig blight children in a cupboard or like in a room kind of pouring out, and we're just like blasting them with fire.
Oh no, that makes you guys a bad guys, not me.
There's a druid who we don't know like her alignment.
She did say kill them
who's just
all.
like working with the winery.
No.
Working
Just
with the winery?
Or sorry, using the winery as
stealing the winery from its rightful owners.
Yeah, squatting.
Well,
Yeah.
Sending,
What are they?
I don't know.
I
I don't 100% know that they are the rightful owners. They've been here for a while, but like concept of ownership is not necessarily a
This is the
like
This is the kind of D&D I hate. Imagine like doing all of this and then being like, "Oh my god, she was just protecting her beloved children."
and that's why I'm worried. That's why I'm worried.
Davian's like,
no.
Davian's like, we didn't mean the
Ownership is
blights
death,
in the
man.
winery. Those are oh my
Eat the
gosh.
I see where you're coming from, Bill, but I have a feeling that
Capitalist.
that might not be the case.
I'm just telling you that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I was wondering, hey, are we getting like the wool pulled over our eyes by this old man or anything? But I don't think it's like that. Or, if it was, it'd be like you dicks.
Yeah.
Either way, Loris is innocent. He's only killing the needle blights. At the
Did you
moment,
say
so-
Loris is
I don't know.
impotent?
Loris is always in the
Oh, that's the main thing.
I feel exactly. I feel Loris feels completely good about this. That's fine. You guys are killing the kids. It's not
I'm
a problem.
so
I
sick
don't
of
even
the
know they're there
morally
yet.
untouchable
Those are their
Loris
parents.
on his high horse every frickin' time. He finds a way to
They
absolve
took me for
himself.
that.
I might
And
call
then
it.
he
I might
plays the
call it
party, and it's like,
they keep
oh,
lying.
he's
Where they
pure.
go.
Yeah, I think their internet's crapping out. Mine's fine in the chat in the end of the game, but during the game, it kept dropping out. Like,
Yeah, they can't hear us, Joe. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, because if Friggins gone, the room can't hear us, right?
Yeah.
So
Not
Well, it could
100%.
last.
It's not 100%. Oh, you can't hear me.
First time.
They can still hear everything
I don't
until
know.
it does a reconnection.
Oh,
So I don't know what's up with Whereby tonight.
Bye,
Say goodbye.
everyone.
Oh, yeah, that's it. So unfortunately, we're going to have to call it there just because of the tech issues. So I'm not sure really why that's happening. But if you like what we've done tonight, give us a follow. If you really like what we've done, come and stop by the Discord, ! Discord. Come and chat to us about tonight's session and just how fucking tough that one was in general. So I feel a little bit about the way that went down. So come say hi, come talk about everything that we've been doing. And we'll see you at the same time next time. This is not the normal time. We normally play 24 hours beforehand. So Monday night New Zealand time, 7:30 p.m. We'll see you then. And we'll see you for episode 19. Thanks and good night, everybody. Love you.